this brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Let's make another excuse for this jackwater.
That's right.
Presented by First Security Bank. By Kirk Realtors, the Griffin Company. Pasco Air, Plumbing and Electric. Flight by Yingling and Fayetteville Auto Park. And now, Chuck and Bo.
Hey, I'm going to start with what some might consider to be an obscure score in college football from last night. But, we talk about how crazy the college football season is. And, of course, we focus generally on the bigger teams, the SEC teams. But last night, 0-6, Kennesaw State beats 5-0 Liberty 27-24. Now, I'm going to guess they bust from Kennesaw, Georgia to Liberty. And I'm going to guess that was a pretty fun bus ride back. I'm not sure they're even home yet.
Kennesaw, Georgia.
Kennesaw, Georgia.
That's where it is.
Yeah. And
How are you at that level winless, and you beat a team that had 7-1 odds to play in the college football playoff?
It's
Liberty.
Incredible. I mean, it really is. Kennesaw State, 0-6 on the road. That would be like FAMU. You remember back when Florida A&M bus like 18 hours or 2 days from Tallahassee to get up here and play? That would be like making a bus ride like that and then winning the game. And that's basically what they did last night. College football is awesome.
Well, it is.
It's awesome.
It's like it's never been.
I watched it last night.
It's never been. And if you're Kennesaw, man, you're playing for one game. Liberty was playing for so much more. Kennesaw was playing for one game.
Here's the thing.
And they got the game.
They did. There are so many games out there that you look at on the surface in years past, based on years past, you think, man, that's a nothing game. That's not even worth watching. But at every level, there are all these upsets that are happening because the transfer portal, I mean, even these guys are getting transfer portal players. They're not any guys you've never heard, that you've ever heard of. They're not getting a new truck, but they're football players, and you can assemble a team. And at some of these smaller schools, I wonder if the process isn't a little bit more quick than it is at a bigger school. I don't know that, but I wonder that. But I thought that was pretty cool last night.
You want to hear the end of the game?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, good. CBS Sports.
10-yard line, that 5-yard line. Bat that ball down.
Switzer, here it is. Going to the outside. Time expires. Incomplete. And Kennesaw State pulls a massive upset for its first ever FBS win. Jamie Chadwell is saying there should be a second left.
Jamie Chadwell.
There should be a second left.
Yeah.
I heard one call. I can't find it. I heard it on the way in on ESPN radio that the play-by-play guy, give me Liberty. I'm like, what does that mean?
I wonder, yeah.
Liberty lost.
Yeah. Well, they took them. That's for sure.
Yeah, they did. They took it.
That was a great win.
They took it, man. How was Sam Pittman live last night?
Yeah, it was good. It was good, and we had a big crowd, as we always do, and Xavier Sori was there, and Braylon Russell was there, and it's interesting, and we've seen this over the years from time to time. This year anyway, it's out of necessity, but you see these freshmen, and in this case, Braylon, and an Arkansas kid who's dreamt of this moment, and he's going to be the guy, or he's going to be given the opportunity to be the guy on Saturday. It doesn't sound good as far as DeQuinton Jackson goes, so they're going to saddle up on Russell, and now I'm sure the others. It sounds like Rodney Hill's. If I was guessing, I would guess Rodney Hill plays. He's listed as questionable, but I would guess that he might play some. But it's going to be. Apparently, Russell and DeBinion and Hill are going to be the guy.
Here's your guy last night talking about
We're
it.
We're going to turn around and hand it to him
there you
a
go.
lot. You know,
that's pretty much it.
I think
right
he's
there.
ready for that. He's earned his way up. He came in January, and I'll be honest with you, we were thinking, he can help us eventually when he first got here and, in the off season, and then spring ball came. And then you're going, well, he going going to move on up that depth chart. And then fall camp came, and you go, oh, well, we're not going to have a role for him. We're going to let him go play. Didn't get as many carries early, and as the games have gone on, has gotten more game time. I met with Braylon on Monday probably and said, we're going to saddle you up. We're going to ride you a little bit, ride that horse.
It's like they have a stable of backs. They do have running backs. You know, they've got several, and Braylon's one of those guys, and he's come on as the games have gone, and you've seen him get a carry, and he's a big physical back with speed. You know, Rocket Sanders is that, and that's playing out again at South Carolina for him. Jaquindon Jackson has been that, but Jaquindon's been hurt a bunch. I mean, this is a deep running back team that Arkansas has. The question remains, what is the offensive line going to look like? They've moved some guys around. It's not the most fun thing to talk about. It's not the most interesting thing to talk about, but it is an essential part of any football game. Like, if you don't have an offensive line, especially in this league, there are some conferences that you can take a lot off the offensive line. You can spread it out a little bit, do some things. You get exposed in this league quickly if you're not good up front. And Arkansas still moving. You know, Kutas is coming back. He'll be at left guard, right? Or
he's going to play.
Guard?
No, he's going to play at left guard. It'll be Kutas and Blackstock.
And they just moved Blackstock from tackle to there.
Right.
So, you know, and Addison Nichols has been kind of hurt some. And, you know, what will this offensive line look like this week? But by the way, Mississippi State's having all kinds of problems with their offensive line. They're grading in pass and run blocking around the bottom of the league, which, by the way, to my knowledge, is the only blocking you do. Run, pass, block. Those are the only two things?
Maybe,
run or pass?
Maybe you block on a return.
Not on the
yeah.
Anyhow, so somebody's going to be getting pressure on the quarterback. Somebody's going to be having tackles for losses. That didn't happen for Arkansas last week. There was none of that going on against LSU.
Well, you know, I want to go back to what you were talking about with the offensive line, because I think that's the key to this whole thing, particularly Saturday and maybe even the rest of the way too. I think Arkansas's defense is solid. I think their defensive front's good enough. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the best in the league, but I think it's good enough. I think the linebackers, for all the worry about what that group was going to look like, I think it's the best group on the defensive side of the ball. I think they're really, you know, I think they've got a chance to be pretty good at safety before this thing's all said and done. I think they're pretty good at safety right now. Defensively, I'm not all that worried. Offensively, you've got to get better up front. Kutas and Blackstock, I think, will split time to a great degree on Saturday. Kutas, you know, when you're an offensive lineman, strength is a big part of it. His back's been hurt. There's not a lot you can do in terms of strength when your back's hurt. So it's been a process of getting him ready to play, even though, you know, he's been out on the practice field for a few weeks now. But he's ready to go. Mississippi State's defense has struggled against the run. Arkansas needs to be able, has to be able, should be able to run the ball Saturday. Whether it's Braylon Russell or Rodney Hill or Rashad Dubinion, you ought to be able to run the ball against these guys. I'm not going to sit here and say this game has the potential to be an offensive explosion, because I don't know that. But I do think they've got a chance to run the ball. And if they don't, that's a bad sign.
Are they still a 7.5-point favorite, Arkansas?
What is it now, Bart? Good morning, Bart, by the way.
Hey,
Good morning, guys. It's 6.5 now.
6.5.
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa.
What do they know that we don't know?
Hey, now that's
a drastic movement.
Hey, that is a big, if you're a gambler, that's a big move. Anytime you get off above or below the 7 line, it moved from above 7 to below 7.
You prefer it to get to 5.5. You prefer that one more point.
Yeah? Is that what you're waiting for? You hope? You
Maybe.
hopeful? It's gonna move. You think it's going to keep moving?
I don't know. I think the line's probably settled at this point.
What are Hog fans thinking about this game? I haven't had a lot of people come up and talk about the game. Like, you know, normally when you're just around town, as I am, I get around town.
I know you do.
Yeah,
you are. You're everywhere.
You know, picking up from cheer, going to home. Last night was the homecoming parade for Fayetteville.
Ooh, how was that?
I didn't know you could get that many people on the square. Like, where do all these people come from? Like, people that don't even have, you know, kids in high school are at the. Do you go to parades? It's a parade. Do you go to parades?
Not usually.
Here's my problem. He didn't
even ask me.
Yeah. No, I know better. I've never been a parade person.
Me either.
I'll turn on the Macy's Day Parade, but that's on TV. That's how you watch a parade on television. Like, if you want to actually experience a parade, otherwise, it's sort of like watching a golf tournament. You ever been to a golf tournament? You ever been to a professional, like a PGA or a major?
Yes, I have.
It's better to watch on TV. It's nice to be there. You're watching one hole, maybe one shot.
You got to follow one guy around.
Well, it's hard to follow
one
or
guy
find
around.
a really good spot on the course.
You're right.
Kind of set up
But
shop
you can't.
there.
But also you follow them around and you can't really see the ball. You can't see where the shots are going. You know, a lot like people that can afford it and do it right. They go and sit in like a spot, like on a green. That's going to be the best hole of the day. Like
they get there early.
What hole is that at the Waste Management Open in Phoenix?
16.
They've built a stadium on that hole, which is cool. But you go to a parade and it's like they go by you and it's over. Especially if you're there to see one thing, like your kid on a float.
So was your kid on a float?
He was. I don't know why I was there. I have no idea.
Pictures.
I mean,
would
all the
suffice.
seniors. Yeah, all the seniors are in back of pickup trucks and trailers and.
Did you just do the square? Did you go down Dixon?
No,
How did all that
went
work?
to the square.
Really?
I mean,
Just, like,
they went from the school and they weaved their way through the square.
Through all the construction
to much fanfare.
Took the detour route up there, off Center Street.
Right.
Major way.
I mean, just getting around Fayetteville is tough. And then you throw a fair in there along with the construction zones.
Yeah. Well, that sounds
Whoever
like a
was
big
trying to
time.
get home last night and didn't know, it's 5:30 and they're upset, right? Day's over, trying to get home. The heck's going on with this?
So you had the parade before dark? Before dark?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
It's getting dark earlier, by the way.
Well, I know that.
Maybe
Clocks change this weekend?
Yeah.
Or next weekend?
Next weekend.
Next weekend.
Yeah.
I can feel my mood changing.
Yeah, I can too.
Yeah, it's my time of the year. That's what happens to me. This time of year. I
Fall
got a mood.
depression working over there.
Yeah, it's once, twice a year, well, maybe more. But, that's what I'm going with. That's got to be the reason.
Hey, let me mention we have an action-packed program planned for our listening audience today.
I had forgotten about that.
Tom Luganbill is actually going to be here today.
Lugs.
And 7 o'clock, Booger McFarland will be here at 7:30.
Boog's a star now.
Yeah, he really is. He's
on ABC, SEC Network.
Oh, I know.
ESPN. They can't hold him back.
No, and he's good for he's got good lines.
He's great.
He can deliver a line. And that's important.
He can turn a phrase.
Role. He can turn a phrase and deliver a line.
Look, can we talk about turning phrases? I've been losing sleep over this. How can I get better at turning phrases? Is this something that I need to, just find some on like Google phrases?
Just Google turning phrases
and just practice some.
That's right.
Give me an example of a phrase that you would.
I don't know.
It just happens.
You have to the moment has to call for the phrase.
It's the it factor. You either have the it factor or you don't.
I don't know. I don't know. It's the mastery of the language. It starts with a love of the language, Bo. And if you don't love the language, you can't turn phrases.
We were having a routine meeting yesterday that you were not involved with.
Yeah.
It was a players only meeting.
Yeah, I was going to say it was probably a lot more pleasant.
And so you weren't there, but I've made some statement, and Bart takes a beat, like a hard pause, and then says how to say it correctly.
Oh, okay.
I had an is instead of an R in there.
Yeah, well, that's good. Bart's learning.
And I looked at him and I said, never stop doing that because otherwise I'll never learn.
That's true.
You ever think about that at our age?
Yeah,
and I'm putting myself in your category for a minute.
I know.
Somebody's got to say something or you're not going to learn. You're not going to. That's the problem with head coaches, if you want to know the truth, in college athletics. They're such kings. I don't know how they learn.
Afraid of them.
I don't know how they. And everybody's definitely.
They are. Everybody's afraid of them.
And, it's like they just kind of mumble under their breath. That probably shouldn't say that. Doesn't sound right.
Or he's not going to like that.
It takes some guts to do that. So Bart, thank you. I don't remember what it was. I've
Derivative.
Derivative.
What
did I say?
You said something.
That's a derivative of.
Yes, and
I said it was about like clips that get played in the open or on rejoins or when we're going to break. And I was telling Edward, a derivative of that is a promo that you're kind of pulling from the same material about as you promote the show throughout the day.
Right.
And I missaid, apparently. Is that a word, missaid? Is there a hyphen in that?
Did you mispronounce the word, or did you just use it in a poor context?
No, I said derivative. I turned a phrase. Yeah. I said derivative, and I said it with authority, and then I second-guessed myself on what it really meant. Like, is that right?
That's where you got
it. Never double-check, never second-guess.
And he was right. I mean, he used the phrase in the proper context.
But I had some word in there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
English-wise. Well, yesterday it did in the meeting.
I'm just proud that you used the word correctly.
Well, thanks. Yeah,
used it in the proper context.
Do you hear me often use words incorrectly?
You know.
Yeah, throw one out there.
What is Bart a language teacher now?
Throw one out. Oh yeah. Oh, Bart is like tsippin.edu.
Okay.
Paper grading coffee shop guy.
Yeah. Bart's an EDU guy.
877-377-6963. His name's on the sidewalk. If you can find it, I'll give you $5. It's 619. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I've been waiting to say this for 5 years. Sterling in Center Ridge.
This is quite the coup. They have put together Bo and Chuck. This is a dream team.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
We are possibly entering what could be a golden age in Razorback athletics.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure and get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
What makes Crabtree RV Center different? First, we are a fourth-generation family-owned business, taking pride in making your family's dreams come true. No corporate mentality here. Second, we've been in business for 74 years, founded in 1950 here in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas area. We are not going anywhere. What does that mean for our customers? A family feel with no corporate hidden fees. The reassurance that we will be here for generations to come, and knowledgeable salespeople who want to pick the right RV for your family to make lifetime memories in. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Hey, we're back at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Troy, you mentioned a minute ago, you got 60 brand new Fords on the lot. That's the biggest selection you've had probably since COVID.
Yes, definitely. You know, I'm excited just to look out the window, look out the front door, and see the new inventory. Starts over here on the left, and it ends at the end of the lot. So come down here and see us if you're looking for a steal of a deal on a new vehicle. These cars got to get out of here. These trucks got to go. We got to move the metal. We got to make room for the 25s that are they're coming in. So I'm telling you, come and see us. We want to make sure that you get the best deal possible on a new Ford, and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that happens.
Plus, you got great rebates right now on the Ford F-150.
Yes, definitely. And like I said a second ago, we want to go to work for you and make sure that you're getting all of the money that you qualify for, so that way we can save you that money, lower that payment, and hey, all in all, let's get you in a new Ford.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
See, I've got this image of Clay in the fly shop by himself with a lot to say and nobody to talk to. And that and that
the dog.
And he's got the dog.
Looks at me. She looks at me like, would you just shut up?
And so Clay starts just tweeting stuff out, texting stuff out.
No, it's not tweeting.
All right,
there's
texting.
no tweeting.
Texting.
We need you on Twitter.
Texting and Facebook.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
B in Clarksville said, fascinating is a great phrase to be turned.
It is. It's a one-word phrase.
I just overused the word for a minute, and I had to detox from it.
We all have crutch
briefly.
words. We all have crutch words.
I went into fascinating rehab for a few days, and
I am a fascinating addict.
They have it on Tuesdays at the Holiday Inn Convention Center in Springdale.
Sweet.
So you should. I don't know. I can't remember what time it starts. I was usually late, but I showed up. 877-377-6963. By the way, we have the full camera setup.
We
going
really
now.
do. This
So
is fancy.
We're streaming on our social media directly. Hit that line on the app. HitThatLine.com on the website. Look, Chuck and I decided, like literally in the middle of the night, one day, like we ended up just waking up in the middle of the night. Chuck called me. I called him. Here we are doing a radio show. We have no idea like what happened. So we're constructing the plane as it flies. We're adding on things to the plane as like we started. The plane flies, but we didn't have seats in there. We didn't have the tray table. We're just constructing.
We're building
all
the
that.
interior
Seat
as
belts.
we fly.
I don't know if we're even going to get seat belts, but we didn't. We started with no seat belts. And Bart, there's a camera on Bart. Look at that. Can you see that? For those of you watching on the Chuck and Bo social media platforms.
So
YouTube,
we're all there
etc.
together. We got
Bart's right
we're
there.
all here.
Look at that. Look at that.
Here.
Look at that.
Whoa, that is big time right there.
Yeah. Wow.
That really looks good, Edward.
That almost takes us up to a digital show level. That's fantastic.
So when you have a point to make now, Bart, you just look directly into the camera.
Right there.
You people.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I'll start with you people.
I think you should. But I have noticed, like, the first thing that happened, and it's been sitting there for a while. That camera was pointed at you weeks ago.
It was.
Well, part of it was.
Were you practicing?
No, part of it was getting it out of the way of traffic. Like the camera was just like we had a lot of cameras here, and we were just trying to get them out of the way. And so I was like, well, this is out of the way. I might as well go ahead and set this up for when we need it down the road. That was.
Bart's a planner.
Yeah, at Chuck and Bo Show. If you've ever wondered what Bart looks like, handsome fella, single, available,
rich.
Some people are single and unavailable. He's single and available.
Yeah,
wealthy. That's another one.
I don't know if this is going to be a good thing or bad thing for me, but
intelligent in his own way.
If there was if there was a
unique way,
if there was a bachelor program for the local
actually
area,
we should start. We should work on that. Can you imagine what great content that would be for the show if Bart was on The Bachelor?
It would be huge.
They're still doing that, right?
I think
They've got
still
a
a television
You watch
program.
Bart?
What is that? What is that old? What is that old Bachelor?
The Golden Bachelor.
The Golden Bachelor.
I like that.
Not something I'm paying attention to.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
Well, your time's coming, pal.
That is really something. 877-377-6963. You can text the show if you want. You can call the show. Gentle Ben has called the show. Eventually, we'll maybe have like guests on camera. We'll have callers on camera.
Wow, that'll be massive.
We'll have who knows what. Hey, man.
Gentlemen, you ready to be on camera? You ready to be on camera on the show?
I think I have more of a radio voice, probably
face?
Radio face.
Yeah. We relate to that.
Yeah.
I'd look good. I'd look good.
Chuck never got into the business to be on camera, but man, he sure has enjoyed it over his time. Once they put him on camera, it was over. He got Voice of the Razorbacks. He called me. He said, "Hey, I got to do this TV show now. I'm on camera. What should I do?" I said, "Wear makeup.
That's right.
You'll be fine."
I've had my voice on
statewide. I've had my voice on statewide radio where they would be. I think one time I even called Chuck Show and they put it on Channel 7 down here or somewhere else in the state. So I've had my voice on TV, but never my face, and I figured there was a good reason for that. For some
well, there
reason.
is a great mystery to you, Ben. That is something. There is a great mystery to you being Gentle Ben, the voice.
He's an enigma.
You are. Some of us are unicorns.
Okay,
You're an
thank you very much.
enigma.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, guys, I want you to know I can remember when we played 10 games a season, not 12 or 11, but 10 games a season, and the good old Southwest Conference days. And sometimes we had the Southwest Conference would have 5 teams in the top 20 because they didn't have the top 25 back then, but they had the top 20 and sometimes 5 teams from the SEC, especially after Houston got in the Southwest Conference. We'd have 5 teams in the top 20 from the Southwest Conference. But most years, guys, what I'm getting to is most years there was, with that 10-game schedule, you could circle 7 games that was for sure positive win, and in the 60s end up being true. We win them 7 games, no problem. And then now here we are, fixing to play, or at least, we're fixing to play probably the last place team in the SEC, and this is Thursday, and I'm worrying and I'm concerned about, are we going to be playing good enough this Saturday to beat these guys? Now, don't worry, Saturday I'll be whole hog, half ham, and we're going to win, and this is why, but right now, anyway, it was just so much. Yeah. That's why it's so nerve-wracking for some of us old guys.
I get it.
It's just different. I'm sorry.
No, I hear you, Ben, and thanks for the call. We always love hearing from you. If I asked you, Ben, real quick, let me just ask you a question. Arkansas has played 16 games in Starkville since joining the SEC in 1992. 16 games. What do you think their record is?
Oh, boy. Now, can you repeat
16
the question?
games.
Or?
16 games in Starkville. Arkansas has gone to Starkville to play Mississippi State 16 times since joining the SEC in 1992. What do you think the Razorbacks' record is in those 16 games in Starkville?
8-8.
8-8. It's literally a 50-50 proposition over the course of being in the league.
Well, lately, since, post-Petrino, until Coach Pittman got here and Arkansas went down there and won that game, Mississippi State had been a little better than the Razorbacks.
Well, I was thinking to myself,
and the series kind of caught up.
You can love Jeff Lebby, and Jeff Lebby's probably going to be a great coach, and he's thought of as a great offensive mind and all these things. But I was thinking to myself on Wednesday, sure glad Dan Mullen's not coaching there right now.
Yeah. They hired Joe Moorhead too. Which was kind of that deal where it was just unexplainable. Leach did better there than a lot of people do. Mullen did well there. But, for a long time, Arkansas would go down there, and it would be a close game, and Arkansas would win.
Jackie Sherrill.
There would
another
be,
coach.
Yeah, Jackie Sherrill was there. But, the series within the last decade, I guess, has evened up a little bit. But a lot of those years, just to be honest with you, Mississippi State was better. Arkansas went through some pretty down periods there, as we know.
Here's where we kind of are, right? Like if you pick the schedule, like if you go through your refrigerator magnet schedule and you write down who you think's going to win or you circle it. Remember I told you guys I was at that Italian restaurant in Cave Springs, Pastafina, on the way to pick somebody up from the airport, and these two 60-year-old ladies are one table over, and they're literally meeting, having dinner, having a glass of wine, and they're like, as they wrap up dinner, like, all right, get your schedule out. So do you think they're, and she's literally reading off the names, win or loss, and they were writing them down. Everybody does this. So if you did that at the beginning of the season, you had this game as a win. That's one thing I'm quite certain of. Every Razorback fan had this one circled as a win. The other ones that they've won, you might not have. The other ones they've lost, you might not have had them losing, or you might have. But this one I know you had as a win. And you've got to win these games to have a season that's thought of as successful, and then at the end to get even to a bowl game. You got to win these games, the games you're supposed to win. Is this the first game they've been favored in all year, outside of UAB and Pine Bluff?
I'm sure that's right. Here's the thing about this game, though, and it's this way every time Arkansas plays Mississippi State. Razorback fans have it circled as a win. Mississippi State fans have it circled as a win. Every
That's a great point.
Every
So
fan
true.
walking into the stadium Saturday is going to be certain their team's going to win, or at least they're going to have it circled as a win. It's going to be a game, well, if we're going to be any good, we got to beat these guys. You know, it's not going to be one of those, well, we got to play a good game, get some help, or, you know, we're better than these guys. It's like everyone's got it circled.
When it comes to winning in your life, Chuck, do it with Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. They know how to celebrate. They'll help you celebrate. You don't have to wait on sports to win. You can just be winning in life, and Blakeman's can help you do that. Whatever occasion you're trying to celebrate, they've got quality, craftsmanship, selection, the best jewelry you can find, from stunning engagement rings to gifts that celebrate every life milestone. Blakeman's proud to be a part of your Razorback journey. They're the official jeweler of the Razorbacks. They're in Rogers. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler also of the Chuck and Bo Show. We're going to get Chuck what would be a great piece of jewelry on Chuck? Like diamond stud earrings
Pinky
or
ring. Nice pinky ring.
That would be.
Yeah.
It just hit me on what Chuck can be for Halloween.
What's that?
A mobster.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Like Jimmy the Greek or something.
I need a lot of gold.
We're going to set you up.
Sweet.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna go as a mob boss.
Chuck's going to wear sunglasses on the show that day. Probably going to get him a hairpiece.
The big tuna.
Giant pinky ring. 6:35. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Everyone remembers the Florida A&M game, and later became known here in Pulaski County as Rattlergate.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone. They educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins. Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
I like craft beer. I do. You guys always think I'm like the biggest dork on the face of the earth.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Not today.
If young Metro don't trust you, I'm going to shoot. Beautiful morning. Singleton on the option right side. Touchdown, Arkansas! Malachi Singleton from 11 yards out. Arkansas's got the lead.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Our flag is more than just a piece of cloth. It's the heartbeat of our nation. It should be a beacon of hope and freedom for us all. But lately, some have chosen to deface it. The same flag I wore proudly while serving in the Army is being dishonored. Have we forgotten the sacrifices made for the freedoms it represents? In Congress, I've taken action to protect our flag and the values it stands for. I'm Steve Womack, and I approve this message because our flag is more than just a symbol. It represents the soul of America. Paid for by Womack for Congress.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Hey, all
Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based scram
He
things.
means the website, which is shop on Razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure to get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center, 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show. Back to Save Sports Radio.
877-377-6963 is the number that'll get you into the program. All right, let's explain the YouTube thing. And by let's explain the YouTube thing, I mean one of you guys explain the YouTube thing.
We started the show. Again, not everything was set up. We're on Hit That Line now, hitthatline.com, the app, the website. Hit That Line has social media platforms. We've been streaming exclusively there. We've simply been reposting that on our social media. Now you can just see it directly at Chuck and Bo, as well as hitthatline.com, Hit That Line Now app. And the bottom line is, if you want to watch the show, you go on YouTube, you search it Chuck and Bo Show once. It'll pop up again tomorrow. You know, it knows your habits. So through whatever carnage that's on your YouTube, you know, that you've been watching, a beacon of light will pop up. It's the Chuck and Bo Show.
Okay.
It's the cuts through all the trash that's on there, just right here. Any social media platform we have is streaming it directly. So if you're on X, Chuck and Bo Show is right there. If you're on Instagram, TikTok. By the way, TikTok's ablaze. Bart put a clip out from Chuck talking about Texas and, you know, showing their ass and who they are. The Tex ass part of Texas. And they don't like it. Like, Texas fans found it, and they're reacting to it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're taking personal shots at you.
Really?
I mean,
I didn't know anything about that.
I don't know if they're personal.
Thank you, Bart. I didn't have any idea. Turned me into a piñata.
Yeah.
I had no idea this was happening. Thank you.
You should get on there and just see what TikTok has to say about you.
I'm not doing that.
How would you describe TikTok relative to other platforms in terms of the vibe there? It's my word of the week, by the way, vibe. Like you know how Twitter's a cesspool. It is. It's a cesspool of negativity.
Sure.
Is TikTok like that?
No, not really. TikTok's more of a fun.
So Chuck really stood out with his grumpy old man routine about Texas.
But Chuck also had a lot of people coming to his defense and basically saying, well, yeah, he's right. This is the way Texas is. Somebody.
Thanks for throwing me out there, Bar. I had no idea.
Well,
he's here to help.
It's Texas. Yeah. It's Texas. You're just echoing the sentiments of how this entire state feels, how this entire region, really the entire country feels about the state of Texas and their athletic programs.
There's a lot of good people there.
There are a lot of good people there. I have relatives there.
There's a lot of good people in the system there.
Yeah.
The athletic department,
Yeah,
it's all love.
Yeah, they're great.
A lot of good people. We're not talking about them.
No, we're
talking
not
about the
at
other
all.
people.
Right. Like Terry said, Texas is the Karen of college football, and I thought that summed it up very nicely.
Do you know what a Karen is, Chuck?
I do know what that is. Yes.
Isn't that's pretty spot on, right?
Like, what if I told
there's some truth to that.
There's a lot of things I don't know, which if you listen to the show, you're aware. But there's a lot of things I don't know. And some of it's around pop culture, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I didn't know what a Karen was until like 6-8 months ago.
Really?
I'm not afraid to tell you that. And now that I know, there's a neighbor, and I don't know her real name.
Oh, no.
Everyone calls her Karen?
I'm afraid that I'm going to call her Karen. Like at one of these, sort of on a neighborhood walk or whatever.
She's like the POA chairman.
I don't know. I don't think it's that. I think she tells the POA chairman what to do.
I got you.
Yeah.
She's the spy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a boat trailer, by the house one. It's like, oh, yeah, that needs to move.
Yeah.
It's like, who reported that?
You not read the covenants?
Wonder who reported that.
Got your
Karen.
You got your boat trailer
I
out
thought
there
I had
in
it
the
hidden.
driveway?
I thought I had it hidden.
What are you talking about?
I thought I had it hidden.
Got to get that thing in the backyard and cover it up, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't even know what that was. But that's, for those that don't know, the other two people, what is Karen? What is a Karen?
It's just someone who complains a lot about everything and perceives everything as a slight at their entire being.
And is not afraid to go low. And is not afraid to go low.
Put it on the poll. Who is the Karen of the SEC?
I think that's a great poll question.
Who is the Karen of the SEC? Like, who's out there reporting people?
Oh,
who's the first name that comes to mind? Let's go college football coaches. Karen, first name.
Hugh Freeze.
That's it.
That's it.
Immediately.
That was a universal answer.
That's so true. So now when you watch Auburn, you go, there's Karen. There's Karen on the headset.
Actually, I just see Baby Billy, but I mean,
Yeah. Hey, Barry Switzer had some interesting comments on Five Bomb yesterday. We'll get into that next because Oklahoma. We all wondered what would happen. Same thing with Missouri and A&M when they came in the league, and they've actually done fine. What's going to happen with Oklahoma and Texas? Are one of those teams or both of those teams going to struggle? Texas is loaded this year, and they're expected to be right there at the end competing for the playoffs. Oklahoma is not. They fired their offensive coordinator already. Brent Venables finally got the head coaching job somewhere, or took it. He hadn't left Clemson forever. And now it's just like, I think Oklahoma fans feel more helpless than Arkansas fans have felt at times. Because they don't know what to do with this. They've had so much success over the last couple of decades. They don't really know what to do with this. We might not make a bowl game season they're having.
See, I think Oklahoma's issues, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I just think they go beyond simply moving into the SEC, and we'll hear some more about that.
All right, we'll do it when we come back. It's the Chuck and Bo Show, 647. We got Tom Luganbill and Booger McFarland coming up next hour. It's Thursday. Got a big weekend coming up. Glad you're here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I think that allowing him to call in occasionally is a healthy reminder of why you don't like Texas.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Parts.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state, and you can add Flyway Brewing to the list, a craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013. With popular flavors like Blue Wing Berry Wheat Ale, the Honeybird Blonde, and the Early Bird IPA, there's no shortage to enjoy a tasty craft beer flight at the Flyway Brewery in Fayetteville, 1550 East Scion Road, or in North Little Rock at 314 Maple Street. Flyway Craft Beer, also available in restaurants and stores everywhere.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Thank you all for your show. It's a great format in the morning. It's really nice to have knowledgeable people to wake up to and listen to. So thank you all.
Arkansas is special. Our people are honest and hardworking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is pure Arkansas. We were raised here, we live here, and we're straight shooters. Unfortunately, out-of-state lawyers who care nothing about Arkansas are advertising for your legal business. They don't understand that you don't hand Arkansans a pile of cow dung and try to tell us it's a rose. Don't be just a number. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Z Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Here with Grant Neal at Road Chevrolet. Grant, how do you get all these pre-owned vehicles that look so good?
Well, what we do is we get all the vehicles that we can that qualify for our certified pre-owned program. We give them that certification. What that means, they get a higher level of inspection, and the manufacturer comes and guarantees a warranty on that vehicle. So you're going to get a guaranteed 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, as well as an extension on the factory powertrain warranty and an additional oil change paid for by Chevrolet. So great value, and there's no warranty better than the manufacturer's warranty. And that's on top of the 2-year complimentary maintenance program that we give on every vehicle we sell.
You have to ask yourself, why should I go anywhere else? Road Chevrolet is the place to go.
We don't have the largest selection, but we have a very quality selection. We handpick these vehicles, and most of them are acquired here locally, which gives us an even greater level of quality control. So we're not selling, mystery vehicles, and man, I hope that this thing wasn't abused. We know the history of most of these vehicles.
That's why they are Arkansas's favorite car dealer. Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show. Listen anywhere at hitthatline.com or the Hit That Line Now app. And now, Chuck and Bo.
So Switzer was on the Paul Feinbaum show yesterday. How old is Coach now?
He's in his 70s.
No, he's 80.
Is he 80 years old?
Oh, yeah. Is he 83?
No, he's 87.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Barry Switzer at 87. That's hard to believe.
I don't know why we think that some of these people that we've just seen, sort of looked up to, or, just having a certain place in life, we think they don't age. I don't know. Maybe we think we don't age. But we look at certain every day we do these birthdays, right? Like Eminem's 52 the other day. And it's like it's almost hard to get your brain around it. Drake's 38 today, by the way. I know you're wanting me to get that on the show.
Kalen DeBoer's 50. Yeah. I'll bet he gets a lot of well-wishers today.
Who do you like more, Drake or Kalen DeBoer? You didn't prep for that one, did you?
No. Didn't anticipate that one.
You got a lot of Drake on your playlist, Chuck?
That didn't make the catfish question, the catfish question
that was
approval.
not one of the Ask Coach questions.
Will Roth did not deliver that one. Yeah.
I didn't get that question.
Anyhow, Switzer was on Feinbaum yesterday. Do you want to set this up, or do you want me to just play it?
Well, I just play it.
Yeah, Chuck,
self-explanatory.
It's good to have Chuck on the Tonight Show. We're just going to play the clip.
Yeah.
We're short in a lot of areas, Paul. We need help all across there. Defensively, we're probably a lot better than we are, obviously, offensively. We're short offensive line, with running backs, receivers, quarterback, every area of the offense needs help. And it's going to take a while to get there, but I think that they can. I don't know. Yeah, I question it sometime with NIL.
Yeah, so
that's the deal right there. And he talked about how, and we've discussed this from our perspective before. I mean, you get into population numbers. I mean, NIL and fundraising becomes a numbers game, and I guess it always has been, but it's more noticeable now. Bottom line, Oklahoma's got 3.5 million people.
We got slightly over 2.
Yeah, Texas has got like 10 times that. I mean, I don't even know what the population is, but it's a lot. And just the potential there for NIL dollars. And essentially what Switzer goes on to say is, I don't know if we can raise enough money. I don't know if we can be competitive from a financial standpoint, which is what it's going to take. Now, I think they can be. If they can pay $10,000 for a Red River rivalry ticket, they can put some money in NIL. And I think they will. But Switzer's the one guy over there that has kind of had his finger really close to the panic button. I mean, from day one. Everyone else has kind of said, oh, we're Oklahoma. We'll be fine. And he's kind of said, and as you just heard him say, basically said our entire offense needs to be revamped.
Oklahoma's got just over 3 million people. Arkansas's got just over 2 million people. Texas has over 30 million people.
Wow.
30.5.
Man, that's a lot of people.
That's just quote of the day.
Yeah.
It's the Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
It's basketball time in the Palace. Call the Hogs with head coach John Calipari and the Razorback men's basketball team as they tip off the season with a historic matchup against Bill Self and the Kansas Jayhawks right here inside Bud Walton Arena.
This charity exhibition game is Coach Cal's first as head hog and will take place on Friday, October 25th, 8 p.m. For more details, visit ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Now is the time to join Hogs Plus, the Netflix for Razorback fans.
Arkansas wins it. Here they come.
Documentaries, exclusive interviews,
people everywhere, and then next thing you know, it's just everybody's packed.
Insider access, and an incredible library of films.
Arkansas leads it by 3.
A membership like no other.
I don't think it gets any better than this.
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps now.
Start your free trial today at hogsplus.com.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't know what on time is for you, but yeah, you got here before the show started.
Whatever. Hey, have you ever seen anyone that takes so much pride in being the first one here?
Nobody will pay you more for your trade than Harry Robinson. Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Great selection, great value, and great pricing right now at Harry's. Plus, more for your trade.
Yes, definitely. You know, Tommy, Harry is known for that. He's the home of more for your trade. He wants to give you more money for your vehicle than anybody else out there. So come and see us. And, not only are we the home of more for your trade, we're the home of the great deals. We want to make sure that you get a good deal on the vehicle that you purchase. So that way you can buy from us again. You send your family, you send your friends. We want to take care of you. We want to make sure you get the best deal, especially on a new Ford. Come down here and see us. I mean, we've got the most inventory that we've had in the last 4 or 5 years. So come and see us. We got 60 new Fords on the lot, and we got a ton of pre-owned inventory too. So much inventory that we're trying to find parking spaces. So come and see us.
And it says it right on the sign as you pull in. Their prices won't be beat at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Online at harryrobinson.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high this afternoon will be right around the mid to upper 80s. We could see a passing shower or two across the north. Overnight low in the upper 50s to low 60s. And then as we head into Friday, lots of sunshine, highs low 80s north, upper 80s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open?
Road Chevrolet in Van Buren has new, they have pre-owned, and they have service. How about tires? Grant, you got some tires?
So GM is giving us a fall tire rebate right now, which you can save up to $100 on a set of 4 select tires, which is great value for savings. On top of that, we have a fantastic selection of tires for almost all makes and models. Going into this time of year, we're going to have weather, cold, wet weather coming up, and it's a time of year to come in and have your tires inspected, and there's no better place to have it done than here at Rhodes.
Speaking of inspections, when you have your vehicle here at Rhodes, you guys offer the video service inspections.
Yeah, absolutely. High level of transparency and also great information. So when your vehicle's in for service, you're going to get a high definition video sent directly to you of our technicians showing you everything that he sees, good and bad, and things that you need to know about. So that way, seeing is truly believing, and we get to show you the things that is going on with your vehicle rather than just telling you about it.
The trust you can depend on here at Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren, Arkansas's favorite car dealer.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
Are we still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Huh. Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I said, Chuck, what suit jacket would fit me that wasn't tailored? I mean, there's no other option. I mean, does this look like a big and tall store kind of guy over here?
I don't know if they have little and small stores. I don't know. Maybe they do.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a called play, and I called it.
A show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm ready to roll right now, Bo.
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings that.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Let's make another excuse for this jackwater.
That's right.
Presented by First Security Bank. By Kurt Realtors, the Griffin Company. Pasco, Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Flight by Yingling and Fayetteville Auto Park. And now, Chuck and Bo.
Love the fact checking. We've undersold both the state of Oklahoma and Arkansas. There's just barely over 3 million people in Arkansas and almost 4 million people in Oklahoma. Chuck and I, we've moved. He moved, I moved, like different. The census reports have not hit our mailbox, and our Google stopped working.
We were lying with statistics.
We're just out here in the blind. We're out here in the blind. It's Thursday morning, 7:02. Glad you're here. Thanks for making us part of your day. Chuck and Bo Show. Tom Luganbill, ESPN, SEC Network analyst, Sirius XM radio host, joining us on the Chuck and Bo Show. Tom, it's been a while. Sorry about the time mix-up yesterday. You're a busy man with production meetings, and appreciate you squeezing us in, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. I was just listening into you guys as you were coming out of break. So you're looking for a short and small store, huh?
Yeah. So I walked right into that. And do you know of any? Do you have any friends? Like Dari and I probably shop at similar places.
It's called Baby Gap.
There we go. Line of the day.
There we go. Who knew? And I bet I can get a deal in there. That'd be great. It's probably going to save me some money. Why get tailored clothing when you could just go to Baby Gap? I mean, these are the reasons.
Buy it off the rack.
These are why you have friends right here. These are among the reasons.
Save you money.
If they don't got it, you don't need it, Bo.
That's it. I could get an NIL deal at Baby Gap. That's a good idea. Tom, let's talk college football. Let's get off this topic quickly. Tell me what your thoughts are on I think Marty Smith said it, college football is inebriated. It's unlike we've maybe ever seen it. Parody's a word that's getting thrown around. What's your summary on portal, NIL? Like, what's happened here that has the playoffs expanded? What would be your sort of summary on where we are in college football?
It's a complete and utter mess. It's the wild, wild west. We have no policing, no governing, no guidelines, no enforcement, no blueprint of how to execute the most transformative legislation of the last 50 years in intercollegiate athletics as it relates to name, image, and likeness and the transfer portal. And I'll say this, if you ran the NFL the way college football is run right now, it would come crumbling down to the ground. And listen, the football side of it for me, I'm good with some of the wealth being spread thinner throughout college football to create more competitiveness, make the games more compelling. I think what we've seen is, you're not seeing the Alabamas or the Clemsons or the Ohio States or the Georgias or the Texas, those types of programs. You're not seeing them lose like major starters or significant players in their two deep. They're losing the 3 and 4 guys that provide really good depth, but those kids are good enough to actually go and play for somebody else and play right now. So that's who they lose off of their roster. And now all of a sudden you've got a bunch of really good players playing at other spots that have leveled the playing field to some degree. But we've got to come up with a way of navigating this space with some common sense and some rule and some law, because this is not sustainable the way we're doing it right now.
Do you think we're going to see more of the Vanderbilt stories and upsets and teams that traditionally haven't competed at the top? Are we going to see more of those teams have an opportunity, or is this going to be sort of like the way it's always been, and this year maybe a little bit of anomaly, or we're just seeing a few cases of it?
I think we're going to move away from seeing somebody on your schedule where you look at that name and you say, oh, that's a win, and you write it in ink. So what's going to happen is whether it's the Vanderbilt, maybe a Northwestern, we're actually seeing it right now happen with Illinois and what they're able to do. We're seeing it happen right now with Iowa State. But I think what it's going to do is it's going to kind of eliminate the doormats, meaning that even if somebody has perennially been a down program and they don't match up well and you kind of chalk that one off to a win, you may not be able to feel as comfortable doing that anymore. For let's just say 2 to 3 teams in every Power 4 league that you become accustomed to feeling that way about, now you're in danger of being a dogfight with that game. I think that's the path we're going down. And listen, for me, as we start to embark on the month of November and you start to look at some of these games that are going to be played, for example, one tonight between a one-loss Syracuse and an undefeated Pitt. That doesn't look like it has ramifications, but it kind of does, because when you look at the rest of the ACC, Clemson and Miami don't play each other. Oh, guess who doesn't play Clemson and Miami? SMU. So now you go to the SEC and you say, okay, well, Alabama and Missouri are playing this weekend. Alabama loses that thing, they're out. A&M and LSU play this week. The winner of that game, huge leap forward. The loser of that game goes into that 2-loss category, which is what I think is going to be a bunch of teams at the end. And how are you supposed to then decipher through all of them? I was talking with Duke Oregon guys, who was the executive director when he was on the chair of the college football playoff, and he said people thought it was hard to figure out how to get number 4. Try going through a bunch of teams from 13 to 19 or 13 to 20, and all of those teams are almost exactly the same. Like, how is anybody supposed to truly get that right?
Tom, when I talk to people, and I know you talk to people that follow college football, the one thing that they always say is, man, college football is crazy right now. And the chaos is appealing. I think those who work within the industry understand there are some things that are not sustainable. But to fans, the chaos, you can't circle a game. You were talking about circling a game with a W. You don't know which games are going to be good games or bad games now. A game that might look like a stinker turns out to be the game of the week.
Couldn't agree with you more. Look at last night. Liberty just lost their chance to be in a group of 5 that large. You're right, and I don't think we're done with that. I think because of some of the competitive balance, because of the way teams have played. The one thing that nobody seems to be pointing out is you look at Texas, Georgia, Alabama, all last week, and you say, okay, that's been the pinnacle of college football, or Texas has been embarking on that. And did you notice how poorly the 3 teams actually played? Like in Tennessee, too. Tennessee didn't play well either. Turnovers, penalties, silly penalties, pre-snap penalties, undisciplined play post-snap. What we're seeing is teams that have usually been flawless, that don't make those types of errors, coupled with elite personnel, they're untouchable. The moment they go out there and they play bad football, they become mortal. And I think we've seen more of that this year than we've probably seen in recent memory of college football.
Tom, how would you grade the quarterbacks in the SEC right now? It seems like a lot of the teams out there have, I won't say quarterback issues, but they're not quite clicking on all cylinders from that position.
I think that Garrett Nussmeier is the best player at quarterback right now in the SEC. I love the riverboat mentality, the gambler, the gunslinger that just letting it rip, oozes confidence. Kind of reminds me of what Baker Mayfield was like when he was at Oklahoma. Very similar style and substance to the level of play. I really think he's played very, very well. Now, you take that, and then if you statistically want to say, okay, well, Jackson Dart's really good. Yes, absolutely. But I think you also got to consider, where the pecking order is right now in terms of the league and how it plays out. Quinn Ewers has not played at an elite level, but he's played at a competent level. Is probably what I would call it. I thought Carson Beck, he continues to turn the football over. That is not something I saw coming from him, going into the season. And so if Connor Wegman can stay healthy and play consistent, I think he's got a chance to be very good. I also think Brady Cook is one of the most underrated quarterbacks, not just in the SEC, but in college football.
Tom Luganbill, ESPN, SEC Network, Sirius XM, Channel 84 radio host, been covering college football for a long time. We understand what Arkansas is. We talk about it every day around here, turnovers being an issue and all that. And they go into this Mississippi State game and, in 16 matchups in Starkville since Arkansas joined the league in 92, they're 8-8. And this is an important game, obviously, for Arkansas's bowl chances. State's a better team than their record indicates. I just wonder what your thoughts overall on Arkansas have been this season. Like, what kind of upside is there? How do you think they're going to finish the season?
Well, I think a lot of that depends on your locker room, your leadership, where it's coming from, the direction, if everybody's towing the same line in the same direction. I actually thought that some of the transfer portal additions, particularly at quarterback and, Jaquindon Jackson, I saw him at Utah a couple of times. And I know the running back position has been beat up. That's really hurt the health of the run game overall for Arkansas. I think Arkansas is one of those teams that has to win on the margins, meaning they're good enough and competitive enough and have increased the roster profile from last year to this year enough to where we've seen improvement. It's there. We've seen it. But they're not good enough to overcome self-inflicted wounds. Some teams are just so talented they can go out and against most opponents, maybe not have a great half or a great quarter or two series that are really bad, and they turn the ball, and they can overcome it. I don't know if that's where, in most football teams, can't overcome that. But I feel like that's where when you combine injuries and overall talent profile, 1, 2, 3, 4 in your depth, and who you are as a program, you have to play really, really smart football. You can't turn the ball over. You can't be heavily penalized. You've got to be able to get off the field on third down on defense. All of those things can be great neutralizers to playing teams that are more talented. And they've got a schedule in front of them where they can get, I think, at least 3. But you're right. This Mississippi State team is much better than people think they are. And that young quarterback they've got is going to be a baller. When he came out of high school, I love that kid, Michael Van Buren. He reminds me of a right-handed Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah. Well, that's a tall task on Saturday. You think Arkansas pulls it out? I mean, how do you handicap it?
I handicap it that I think it's going to be a one-possession game in the fourth quarter. Again, you can't go out there and beat yourself. And Mississippi State's in the same boat. This is going to be not so much about who makes the most plays, but who avoids making the errors, in my opinion.
Yeah. Tom, we'll get you out of here with this. If you had to pick right now, which SEC teams make the playoff?
I would say Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, and the winner of this week's LSU Texas A&M game would be in the driver's seat. So I would say 3, potentially 4.
How about that? Going to be an interesting finish to the season. It's been interesting so far. It's going to even get better, I think, down the stretch. Tom, always great to have you on. Lugs, thanks so much for the time, man.
Thank you, Tom.
You bet, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
Tom, you too, man. Tom Luganbill, ESPN SEC Network, been at it for a long time, understands all facets. We'll do it again. He's a guy that can go a lot of places in the college football
I think he's very
conversation, and there's a lot we could get to. Booger McFarland is going to join us in about 15 minutes, so we've got some insight, some smarts coming your way. We got some text to respond to next. I've been called out on some flaws.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of address those here with you. Just
self-evaluate. Well, is that what we're doing?
I mean, it caused some self-evaluation, and I just want to kind of talk to my friends here when we come back. 877-377-6963. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, first and foremost, congratulations on the official launch of the Chuck and Bo Show. I want to know, how did you guys decide which name went first, Chuck or Bo? Was that a flip of the coin?
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda,
Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit GoPaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
We bring in players. They didn't grow up with a whoop victory. They don't bleed hog red. They bleed money.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's fall cleanup time at Gray Brothers Equipment. From the large M7 Series cab Kubotas to the L2502, the best-selling compact tractor in Arkansas and Oklahoma. Gray Brothers and Kubota will make your fall cleanup a breeze. With great pricing and interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months, they're making fall cleanup enjoyable again at Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 12/31/2024, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Witz Marine, your authorized Mercury dealer, is ready to take care of your winterization needs. With cold weather just around the corner, be sure to get your Mercruiser stern drives drained and flushed with antifreeze. For those with outboards, it's a great time to change the oil and service the lower unit. Plus, treat your fuel for a trouble-free next season. Don't get caught this winter. It's also a great time to repower the old boat with a new reliable Mercury engine. That's Witz Marine, your authorized repower center. 823 North 11th next to Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith.
Are you tired of processed meat and flimsy sandwiches? Subchain's gotten your last nerve? Then I have the place for you. Come see my buddy Josefa at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District in downtown Fort Smith. Locally sourced meat sliced daily and fresh breads from Harvest Moon Bakery. Daily specials announced on Facebook, including the Poke Bowl every Friday and Saturday. For to-go orders, call 479-567-3403.
My name is Lily. My Baba makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Sandwich Shop. Come by and see him at the Bakery District today.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show. Listen anywhere at hitthatline.com or the Hit That Line Now app. And now, Chuck and Bo.
It's a big day, Chuck.
It is a big day.
We activated 2 more cameras, so now we have 3 of the 4 working.
I see lots of red lights flashing.
And
Does that mean they're all on?
Bart can now be seen on screen. So that's an improvement.
Yes.
What's not improving is me.
What's the problem?
Well, we got a text, and I'm not even saying they're wrong. I don't think they identified themselves, but they're from the 870. Bo, why do you ask a question and then talk over the person trying to answer?
Because it's your show. That was always my reply. Because of my show.
I may do that. I mean, I've been known to do that, but also I could respond, and maybe it was a rhetorical question. I didn't really need an answer. I was just,
I just thought I'd provide one for you.
Yeah. Here, I can answer this question better than you can. Let me just go ahead and tell you what the answer is.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to work on that, though. Just as friends, we just agree that, along with fascinating, I'll work on not asking a question.
I enjoy hearing you
talk
over people.
Yeah.
I enjoy hearing it.
You do?
Yeah. I like it.
So you're encouraging it.
Yeah.
Oh, why not?
I think it exerts your on-air dominance. It kind of
well, listen.
Sets the tone.
When you shop at the Baby Gap, you got to be big on a microphone.
Hey, that was a pretty good line, man. I wish I'd thought of that. Sometimes someone will say something, it's like, man, I wish I'd thought of that.
Man. By the way, I am making a special appearance at the Rodeo of the Ozarks.
Are you really?
Next July.
Wow.
Midget wrestling.
I was going to say.
I'm featured.
They always put the small guy in the barrel,
I don't feel small out there, Chuck.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. You're a giant of a man.
Happy birthday, Drake. He's 38.
Yeah, I hope he has a great day.
What do you think Drake does on his birthday?
Sleep in, for starters.
Really?
He won't see morning. He's a musician. They don't even know there's any
musician.
Nothing happens before noon.
He's an artist.
That's right.
Do we call them musicians anymore?
I don't know. I do.
Yeah?
I do.
Yeah.
Are you one of these people that's like, dang it, you could change the phrase whatever you want to whatever you want, but I'm not following.
I'm not saying it out of stubbornness. I'm not saying it out of stubbornness. I just think that's what I call him. He's a musician. He's in the band. That's what I think. That's how I do it.
Drake is in the band.
I don't go so far as to refer to everyone as an artist. That's kind of an overused term.
What if I were to ask you, what's your favorite Drake song?
Well, we'd be here a while. Just to be very honest.
Bart, give us a Drake song.
Hotline Bling.
Yeah, no idea. I could give you some lyrics, but I don't know if I know song titles.
Hotline Bling. Mm-hmm. That's a dandy. No, I mean I'm
a dandy.
I'm sure it's good.
God's Plan.
Yeah, there you go. There's one. Everybody knows that.
Rich Baby Daddy.
Yeah. What's on your playlist, Bart?
God's Plan.
Are you?
And then Rich
You're multiple,
Baby Daddy.
aren't you? You're like multiple. Like if we're in football terms, you're
Eclectic.
multiple.
Eclectic.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
You get a lot of formations.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of different types
You
of
got
music.
Drake and Taylor Swift on there too.
Sure.
Country.
Not a ton of country.
Yeah.
I'm not growing up.
You don't like country music?
I'm not a huge fan of modern country music.
Yeah.
But
you like the old twangy stuff?
I have but I have artists in country music who I really like.
Yeah.
Justin Moore, Zach Bryan.
Speaking of music,
yeah.
Eddie in Clarksville, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
We digress. Eddie.
Good morning, gentlemen, and good morning to this fan base. As I woke this morning, craving the recipe for postseason play. Now, I want to get to my love Razorback Hawk train, football train, and I want to get the message across to the players and coaches. Can you smell the recipe? Because I said it before, there's a recipe for everything in life, baby. And, my grandma used to make the best homemade apple pie. And, boy, there was ingredients that went into it. There's a recipe for winning. There's a recipe for losing. And come Saturday at Starkville, woo! I'm starting to feel it, baby. And I'm going to give you the recipe right now, baby. Always scout in the SEC, the quarterback you're facing. Well, let me give you a little research on Michael Van Buren, that young freshman you're fixing to face. He's at Baltimore High School, St. Francis. And let me tell you something. He's a top 300 recruit that can chuck the football. And if you don't get pressure, recipe number one, defense and Travis Williams, do not play that defense, throw it in the trash. Like that defensive scheme you had Saturday night, he will light your butt up. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'll tell you, it's not a fact. Bring the heat. Put pressure on him. You didn't do nothing. The Let me talk about effort today. Effort is a word with multiple meanings.
Careful.
It's a genuine, sincere effort to exert yourself for postseason play Saturday and Starkville, baby. And it better be accelerated. And I'm going to a couple songs this morning. I'm going back. Woo! Kryptonite, baby. Three doors down. And you better crank it up Saturday because on both sides of the football, every individual on this team, you must find your kryptonite, baby. Because if you ain't never been to Starkville, well, trust me, I have. It's going to be a challenging environment. And you better come and find your kryptonite.
Well,
get the coach.
I'm confused by the use of the word.
You know, Bobby, you're one of the best offensive minds in the country. You know what Jeff Levy wants to do? I'm going to tell you their game plan. He wants to lock your butt up. He's going to attack you on the perimeter. So wake up out there. Bring the heat, baby. I tell you what, offensively, I'm going to Loverboy this morning. Turn me loose. Because you better turn Taylor Green loose. Let them be Taylor Green. Have them roll out of the pocket. If it's not there, have them run the football. We have to run the football Saturday. And if you don't, you will get beat. And your chances of going bowling in the postseason are way down, baby. So you better come to play, baby. And that other song I cranked up, woo, I'm feeling it now, baby. You know, I went to back to stepping one. Wow. You know, born to be wild.
Yeah.
Did you hit the highway Saturday looking for an adventure and looking for a win? Come Saturday in morning when the sun rises and Starkville, when we leave, is that whistle going to be blowing, baby? We'll find out.
Booger McFarland joins us next on the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Rick's in Fayetteville. Rick, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's a privilege to talk with you guys, and I love the Razorback.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, we understand the importance of those moments. That's why we offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find the perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Just thinking, what is a Pirates' favorite college football team?
Say it, Bart.
Arkansas.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Wound Wrap is your #1 resource for all things diabetes. It's now available on the Hit That Line podcast network.
What happens with insulin resistance?
When we see that insulin resistance, there's something there preventing that cell door to open to allow the blood sugar in. So that really is just breaking down and saying that our body is not using the insulin appropriately.
Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts and find it on hitthatline.com. Wound Wrap with Dr. Doug Friesen.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Our flag is more than just a piece of cloth. It's the heartbeat of our nation. It should be a beacon of hope and freedom for us all. But lately, some have chosen to deface it. The same flag I wore proudly while serving in the Army is being dishonored. Have we forgotten the sacrifices made for the freedoms it represents? In Congress, I've taken action to protect our flag and the values it stands for. I'm Steve Womack, and I approve this message because our flag is more than just a symbol. It represents the soul of America. Paid for by Womack for Congress.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, 16 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jazzco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your custom or buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going.
No, there's an old saying I learned a long time ago. Stats are like bikinis. They show some things, but not all things. If you look at the stats, Tennessee should be getting rolled out in the state.
One-stop shop.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, Chuck and Bo. Love you, Chuck. I've been listening to you dang near all my life calling games. I'm certainly excited about y'all's new show. I've listened every morning.
One of the great guys in our business, in the college, and I'm talking about the college football world,
the industry,
Anthony Booger McFarland, played at LSU, has become a really great sports personality. ABC, ESPN, SEC Network, really, if you're turning on the television and you want to see something informative, Booger's probably going to be there. He had the line, Chuck, that you love over the weekend about the, I think it was the Alabama-Tennessee game at halftime.
It was good. There's an old saying I learned a long time ago. Stats are like bikinis. They show some things, but not all things. If you look at the stats, Tennessee should be getting blown out in this game. Yeah.
Booger, tell us more. Good morning. Glad you're here. Booger McFarland. Can you hear us? Are you there, Booger?
Yeah, sorry about that. Top of the morning, guys. How we doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
How you doing, man? Did you go for a 4-mile run this morning?
No, but I don't run anymore. I'm a Peloton guy. That's about all I do.
I feel that. Hey, how did your colleagues respond to your bikini line in the studio in the break?
Oh, trust me, they've heard worse.
It's a good line, though.
It is a good line.
Some people do need to keep the bikini on.
What are your thoughts on the SEC so far this year?
Yeah, I think when you look at the top, I think we came into this season thinking that Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss would kind of be the top teams. As we kind of sift our way through it, I think Georgia, they lost to Alabama, is still showing that they're up there. I still look at Texas as a really good team based on just their depth of talent. Alabama, 2 losses. They're on life support. But we still know the type of talent they're there, even though it seems like there's something missing right now. There's something is amiss going from Saban to DeVore. Ole Miss has probably been the biggest disappointment because, we came into the season saying, if not now, when? The schedule was set up favorable. They got their key matchups at home. And, you know, if you're looking at Ole Miss, you got to say you expected a little bit more. I think the two biggest surprises are what we're going to see this weekend in Kyle Field and College Station. Mm-hmm. And that's Texas A&M and LSU, because we didn't expect both of these teams to be where they are right now, 6-1, and the winner of this game on Saturday night is in the lead in the SEC, and we're going to basically be at the Halloween point. And so I think based on that, you know, I think that will be a surprise. And then, you know, Tennessee. Tennessee has kind of been Jekyll and Hyde, man. Like, sometimes they look so good, and then, you know, you guys saw them when they came up to Fayetteville and they couldn't score a point. And so overall, I think the SEC is about where we thought it would be, maybe with a surprise or two.
Is there a great team in the league, Booger, or are they all very good teams trying to take that final step?
I don't think there are any great teams in college football, and I think NIL and transfer portal has taken away the great teams. And by great, let me define great. LSU 2019, Miami, those Florida Gator teams, maybe Clemson when they beat Alabama. Like, those teams were truly great, meaning, like, we were shocked and surprised if they lost a game. We were shocked if they played a close game. And so I don't think there are any great teams in college football. I think it's going to be a wide open 12-team playoff. And we can thank NIL and the transfer portal, because no longer are guys able to stockpile talent. What's happening is, if you're a five-star and you're not playing as a freshman, unless you got a really good relationship with the coach like Arch Manning, you're probably leaving to go play somewhere else. And what does that mean? That means some of the better players are now at other schools, and you get schools like Vanderbilt. You get schools like Indiana. You get schools that we didn't think maybe were going to be really good in football. They're turning out to be better than we thought, because they are able to go out and secure the talent based on the common denominator in college football right now, which is the transfer portal and name, image, and likeness.
Indiana, Booger McFarland with us, ESPN, ABC Sports, college football analyst. Indiana's one of the examples of this question, maybe. So I'll make it about them, but there may be another team you're thinking of. Is somebody like them about to get exposed down the stretch here? Are they not as good as we think, or is this just kind of where we are for all the reasons you just mentioned?
Well, we're going to find out about Indiana in a couple of weeks. They got Washington this weekend. They play Ohio State in a couple of weeks. We're going to find out about Navy this weekend. They play Notre Dame at the Meadowlands. And so, to your point, Bo, we're going to find out that some of these teams are going to face stiffer competition. Does that make them frauds? I don't know. I just think the competition is going to get a little stiffer. I do like what Indiana's doing. I love the brashness of Kurt Signetti. I love how he brought those guys from JMU, and he basically says, hey, man, you guys are surprised if I win everywhere I go. Just Google me. Like, there's something about that when a coach can talk the talk and walk the walk. I love that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think college football in general, man, is really in a situation now where I'm really not going to be shocked at any outcome on any given Saturday, just because I think the talent is so dispersed right now.
Hey, let me ask you a bigger picture question, Booger. What do you make of, players asking to redshirt, coaches talking about their rosters already being tampered with at this stage of the season? We're a couple of months away, I guess, from another portal period, which may be crazier than ever. I mean, what do you see simmering beneath the surface as we kind of approach that period again?
So I think you have to go to the 10,000-foot view. And you have to realize this. There are certain guys who know they may not be pro prospects. Okay? So if you're not going to be a pro prospect or surefire first-rounder, and you're trying to earn as much money as you can during your collegiate years, why are you going to waste a year not playing? And so if you're a guy and you're a sophomore and you're not playing, let's look at Jaheim Oates from Alabama. Big defensive tackle, big body. He said he's going to redshirt. I mean, he's a super big athletic guy who probably has aspirations of playing on Sunday. And guess what? He goes into the portal. Somebody's going to pay him, I don't know, let's just say somebody pays him $300,000. So that's $300 more grand that he can get additionally than if he would have played this year and burn up another year. So I think what's happening is you're getting a lot of guys who say, you know what, it's a little bit more fruitful, a little bit more advantageous for me to stay in college football, maybe get a master's degree, make more money, rather than playing at a school and just sitting on the bench. And I think it's twofold now. You can play more, and you can also make more money. So I truly understand what the kids are doing. Coaches are going to complain, so be it. Coaches have always complained when coaches don't have control. And by control, I mean coaches don't have control of other schools being able to say, hey, we got money over here. Our cash is just as good as the other team's cash, so why don't you come over here? So I get it. I do think we're headed down a slippery slope where this bubble is going to burst at some point. I don't know when or what's going to burst it. And so right now the kids got to take advantage of it.
It's funny, Booger, how we talk about coaches and how it changes so rapidly. And Kiffin was one of those guys coming into the season. It's like, man, it's set up. They're ready to roll. You alluded to it earlier. You know, Brian Kelly, people are hot and cold on him. Kirby. I mean, we think we know who he is. Sark's one of those guys that sort of kind of remade himself, and he's right there. But I'm looking at these coaches, and like who do we know is a good coach in the SEC besides Kirby Smart right now?
Well, I do think they're good coaches now. I think Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri is a good coach. You look at what he's done with that program. I think that, if you just look at Brian Kelly's history, everywhere he's been, he's won. I think if you look at just the resume of people, when you can do it at different programs, at different schools, I think there are other good coaches. Caleb is in a situation where he's won everywhere he's been, but it's tough because now he's coming to a school following the greatest of all time who did it a certain way. Like, let's face it, Nick Saban was a hard ass. Kalen DeBoer is not that. Mm-hmm. Although he can be, his natural personality is more mild-mannered. And I think that's the issue at Alabama right now. You got a team or a roster that's, let's say there's 65% of the guys that are left from the Nick Saban era. Those guys are used to being coached a certain way. And now you get DeBoer coming in, and his style is more laid back. Well, guess what? If I have somebody who doesn't have their thumb on my tail all day, I'm going to relax a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And I think when you relax, you don't get the best out of your talent. And I think that's what's going on at Alabama. But Kalen's a good coach. Kalen will get it figured out. Those guys will adjust at some point. So I would push back a little bit saying that there aren't any good coaches. Mm-hmm. Now, when we talk about the word great, I think it's thrown around too loosely. Kirby's great. I think what Kirby's done, it's hard to argue with how he's taken what he learned from Nick and taking it to Georgia. I think he's the one great coach in the SEC, but there's several good coaches.
Yeah, great points. I love that point about when you have a coaching style change. I mean, it can't help but take time to adjust to all of that. It's just human nature. A couple more before we get you out of here. One of them's Kiffin specifically. What do you expect Ole Miss to do the rest of the way?
It's one of those questions, man, that I think it's very interesting when you talk about Ole Miss, because all those players came there, and the only thing they're thinking about is winning a national championship and competing for one. They got a big game against, I think it's Georgia coming up, and they'll be able to kind of salvage their season or whatever and still be able to compete for a playoff spot. But it's tough, man, because when you bring all these extra guys in that are outside of your program, the one thing you lose is your culture, I think. You gain a lot of talent, but you lose the culture. And I think Ole Miss, since Lane has been the king of the portal, they've had a lot of talent. They've stockpiled a lot of talent, but their culture hasn't been something that I think they can sustain. I do think Ole Miss still is one of the more talented teams in our league. Let's just see what they do, and they got an opportunity to prove it on the field against Georgia.
Let's talk Arkansas before we get you out of here. We obviously see them every week. We know it well. Turnovers have been a problem. When they don't lose the turnover battle, they've won. They've competed. They've looked really good at times, and they've beaten themselves at times. What are your thoughts on what you're seeing from the Razorbacks? They've got at Mississippi State this week, Ole Miss coming next week. They've got Texas coming to Fayetteville, La Tech's left on their schedule, and then they finish up against Missouri. They got 4 wins. Is this a bowl team?
I think it is, but they have to do it a certain way. So when you look at the landscape of college football, everybody's going to this spread offense, mobile quarterback. We want to open it up and kind of be multiple and kind of play the basketball on grass. Or certain places, you're not going to get the type of athletes or the depth of athletes that you're able to do that with. So if you understand that, then there's a certain way you have to play, a certain style you have to play. I do think if you have a mobile quarterback, then you're ahead of the game. So Arkansas has that. I think if you're Arkansas, if you look at them, when they've been successful, they've been very opportunistic on defense. They've ran the football with Jackson. They've controlled the ground game. Like, they bludgeon people. That's the way Arkansas has to play. And it's no disrespect to anything. It's just the style of play that you're going to have to do to be able to win. Just look at Michigan. Michigan last year wasn't a passing football team. Michigan was a thumping football team. They lined up with the best offensive line in America, and they ran the football down people's throat, man. And guess what? They won a national championship by playing that way and having a damn good defense. And so I think if you're Sam, you got to say, how do we win? Like, who are we? How do we win? Look at the Detroit Lions, Bo. The Detroit Lions right now, I can tell you who they are. Dan Campbell has the toughest team in the National Football League. They're going to run it down your throat. Yeah, are they explosive? Sure. They got Gibbs and they got Montgomery, and they can be explosive. But at their core, if I ask you one word to describe the Detroit Lions, it is physical. If I gave you two words, it would be tough. If I ask you what the two words are to describe the Razorbacks, what do you get? What should you use? But more importantly, what are you using? And I love the University of Arkansas, man. Like, my best friend goes there or went there and still works there, Marvin Caston. I want them to succeed. I just think they have to be careful of how they do it and how they go about doing it, especially from an offensive standpoint.
Yeah, it's a good point. Booger, a lot of great points. Always fun, man. Been too long. Glad we got to catch up. We're watching you every weekend. Great work, and thanks for hopping on with us.
Thank you, Booger. All good. Y'all have a good one, man. Tell Marvin I said what's up.
We will. We will. Marvin and Booger grew up together.
Hey, you think there were some groceries consumed? you think their mamas had?
They did, man.
I mean,
they
between Booger McFarland and Marvin Caston, you think there were some groceries?
I've heard the stories. Great stuff. Booger McFarland on the Chuck and Bo Show. It's 7:49. It's Thursday. Glad you're here.
Hey, good morning. It's good to hear you back on the radio, man. I missed you in the afternoons, and you guys seem to be gelling right along. So it's good to hear both of you on morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweating 'em Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatingthemcosmetic.com and click on the Sweating 'em Edge.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state, and you can add Flyway Brewing to the list, a craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013. With popular flavors like Blue Wing Berry Wheat Ale, the Honeybird Blonde, and the Early Bird IPA, there's no shortage to enjoy a tasty craft beer flight at the Flyway Brewery in Fayetteville, 1550 East Scion Road, or in North Little Rock at 314 Maple Street. Flyway Craft Beer, also available in restaurants and stores everywhere. Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
There's nothing like a college football Saturday, a few beers, your phone, and Twitter.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Over 60 brand new Fords on the lot, the best selection they've had in years, and big rebates offered by Ford and Harry Robinson.
Yes, definitely. And, you know, we've got a professional sales staff out here that wants to go to work for you and make sure that you're getting the most money off of some of these new Fords. We want to make sure that everything you qualify for, you actually get. So come down here and see us. I mean, I've seen customers saving $12,000 off of some of these new vehicles. So get down here, Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford. Let us go to work for you. Let us save you some money. And hey, I mean, more for your trade. We want to give you more money for the vehicle you're trading in, too. So come and see us. You're going to find the best deals, and you're going to get more for your trade.
Plus, you'll find the #1 truck for more than 45 years in the Ford F-150 here at Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford. Check out the rebates on the Ford F-150. Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw, and online at harryrobinson.com.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
All you kids, anytime there's any problem, anytime somebody's, well, why don't you get YouTube TV? Well, why don't you get Sling? Why don't you, I mean, you've always got the answer. Right. You've always got the answer.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Got a text here wondering why Eddie will call in and ask a question and then talk over. Pete in Charleston says, why does Eddie call and ask a question and then talk over whoever's trying to give the answer? Pete in Charleston.
I don't think Eddie is aware that there are other people on the air when he's on the air. He moves into the zone.
So me and Eddie are the same.
He goes, I didn't say that. I think
he's got a little bit
I
more
just think Eddie goes into the zone.
Energy than I do. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank. Bank better at First Security Bank. More friendly people, more friendly and convenient locations. It's Arkansas, man. First Security Bank's all about Arkansas. They're all about the Razorbacks, and they're the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. FSBank.com. You can find them online. Online banking's never been easier than at First Security Bank. Member FDIC. What to watch on television tonight, Chuck? You ready?
I'm watching us on YouTube right now.
How's that going?
It's fascinating. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen.
Jar.
It really is.
He can use it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm back to using it now. It is fascinating.
It's
It looks so much better.
It's crazy.
We got some more cameras activated. Before you know it, we'll be.
I got to be more cognizant.
I
got to be more cognizant of the fact that we're on camera.
I don't think you need to worry about it.
Yeah, I've never worried about it before.
I would not start now.
Okay.
He is just mesmerized by it at the moment.
I am.
Syracuse, what to watch on television? Watch us on YouTube, Chuck and Bo Show. That's what to watch here on the show. Syracuse at Pitt tonight is a great game. At least it looks like it's going to be a great game. Got a one-loss Syracuse, an undefeated Pitt on ESPN. Great Thursday night football opportunity. Go to Flyway Brewing. They got 2 giant screens in Fayetteville. Got a location in North Little Rock as well. Great craft beer. Go watch a game. They got bingo Wednesday night. That was last night. Did you go for bingo last night, Bart?
Not last night. Didn't make it last night.
Bingo for charity at Flyway on Wednesdays. Georgia Southern's at Old Dominion. ESPN2 at 6, and then Syracuse and Pitt. ESPN at 6:30. By the way, for NBA fans, the NBA's back. It's here. Did you see the stat? Arkansas's got 11. We had 10. They got 11 guys in the NBA. 11.
It's a lot of guys.
John Calipari has 29.
It's incredible.
29 players currently in the NBA. Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Best brands, best people, best inventory, best place. You want selection? You'll find it at the Auto Park. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. We're talking 4 of the best brands on the planet. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Plus, certified pre-owned Toyotas, Hondas, Acuras, and Chevys. Why settle for anything less than the best? Best brands, best people, best inventory, best place. Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show. Check us out online at FayettevilleAutoPark.com. That's FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Good morning, Smack Daddy. What's happening?
What's up, Bald Brotherhood?
There you go.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, folks, we're back here at Road Chevrolet with Grant Neal. Let's talk new vehicles. What a selection.
I'm really happy that Chevrolet's starting to send more inventory because we're starting to get the vehicles that people want and need, especially moving into the fourth quarter. This is when the savings start to come and people are looking at shopping for the end of the year for their business or for the holidays. So, you know, Tahoes, heavy-duty trucks, the new light-duty trucks, the all-new Chevrolet Traverse, the most popular models, we've got them. And great deals, too, up to 90-day payment deferral, so 3 months with no payment, and 0% for 36 months for well-qualified buyers on select vehicles.
You've even got a Silverado EV.
Yeah, is that thing not unbelievable? It's unbelievable, and you know, it's a unique vehicle for a unique person, but I'm just telling you, you got to come out here and drive this thing and let our team show you all the great features. It's a truly marvelous piece of engineering.
It's Arkansas's favorite car dealer, Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high this afternoon will be right around the mid to upper 80s. We could see a passing shower or two across the north. Overnight low in the upper 50s to low 60s. And then as we head into Friday, lots of sunshine, highs low 80s north, upper 80s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
Got a few skeletons in your closet? Want to seal your past criminal charges? Need to clear up some current ones? I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Fines and restitution add up. You need an attorney to help you navigate the justice system. But how do you pay for it all? At Mock Legal Solutions, we offer flat fees and payment plans, so you can get back on track without selling a kidney. Now that's a monster of a deal. Call today for a free consultation. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal?
I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Arkansas is special. Our people are honest and hardworking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is pure Arkansas. We were raised here, we live here, and we're straight shooters. Unfortunately, out-of-state lawyers who care nothing about Arkansas are advertising for your legal business. They don't understand that you don't hand Arkansans a pile of cow dung and try to tell us it's a rose. Don't be just a number. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Hart's.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
How long are you going to keep making the same mental mistakes? You know what the definition of insanity is, don't you, Bo?
You know what I don't have? I don't have a killer instinct.
That was so bad, Bart's got to get fired. Bart, you're fired. Bo screwed it up so bad, you're fired.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it, Chuck.
A show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm ready to roll right now, Bo.
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball white guys with a face for radio.
Let's make another excuse for
That's right.
Presented by First Security Bank. By Kurt Realtors, the Griffin Company. Pasco, Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Flight by Yingling and Fayetteville Auto Park. And now, Chuck and Bo.
It's October 24th in the year 2024.
Oh, this is the day you've been talking about.
Yeah, it's the day that it's happened every month this year, Chuck, but I don't know if people have recognized it, so there'll be two more. It'll be the 24th of November on the 24th and the 24th of December on 2024.
Well, think about like next year. It's going to be like the 25th.
Right,
and 20,
right.
It's
the small things
It's going to go
in
on
life.
and on until like the 2032.
It's the small things in life.
Yeah.
When you get to the year of 2031, we won't have it every month.
No, you're right. Every other month.
So you got to kind of embrace it now.
Enjoy it while you can.
Arkansas's got a big game this weekend.
They do.
I don't know if anybody's paying attention, but this is not a guaranteed win by any stretch of the imagination. And, don't forget, they have cowbells.
We had the cowbells all day yesterday, and I said, I can't take it no more. So today we had crowd noise without the cowbell. Well, I think our kids understand now after Tuesday all day that there's going to be cowbells, and so we just practiced noise today.
It's unbelievable that it's allowed. I'm totally
That's the
against
first
it.
thing Coach Pittman said
Ridiculous.
last night was it's illegal.
It is, and they should not be able to do it. And yet the SEC just allows it to happen continually because it's poor old Mississippi State. Well, it ain't poor old Mississippi State when they win, and they have won before. And they're due, man. This is going to be a tough game. Arkansas is 8-8 all time in Starkville since joining the SEC in 1992. But I don't want to talk about that.
Do you not?
No. Today's can I just share?
Please.
I'm just kind of feeling it, and I just need to kind of get out and breathe some fresh air. And we live in a wonderful, beautiful, natural state. It used to be called the land of opportunity. We should go back to that. But it is the natural state, and, it's fall. And, like I said, it's the 24th of October. It's 24 today. And what that means is, because I know you were asking, so I'll tell you, we're running out of time for the fall foliage.
The fall what?
Foliage.
Okay.
I want to see the leaves, man.
I hear
I want to
you.
go drive around and I want to see the leaves.
Well, I mean, they're just different shades of brown right now. We
No,
haven't had
there's
any rain
Oh,
in like
that's
since
not true.
July
There's
4th.
beautiful orange. You're not looking at the right trees. Beautiful orange and different shades of brown. And
It's a little different this year. You got to
There's
admit.
some
I mean,
yellow.
we've had no rain.
so,
It's going to be close to 90 degrees.
okay, so where would I go today if I'm going on a drive? I'm leaving Fayetteville. Where would I go for the best view, to just breathe in God's air and fall, where would I go? Where would I drive?
If you want the best view, you're going to have to, drive all the way over to Harrison and drive down 7. If you want to go to what I think is the best place, go to Boxley Valley. Get on 412, drive over, stop at that convenience store there at
Marble Kings Country.
Yeah, stop there. Hang a right there on Highway 21, 3 or 4 miles down the road.
You're sending me to Ponca.
I'm going to send you down there to the Boxley Valley. And then when you're done down there, turn around, drive back up to 16,
I'm done.
Go over to St. Paul, and come back to Fayetteville. When you've had enough.
When you've had 10 deep breaths.
Yeah, that's right.
So
when you've seen some elk, you see, if you stay down there till late today, you might see the elk at the end of the day.
What am I doing on the drive? Like, am I listening to anything? Am I listening to other sports radio?
Well, yeah, reception's an issue in some of those spots.
Yeah. Well, I got the app. I got to hit that line up.
You just contemplate the universe.
Sirius XM app.
Contemplate
all
the
the
universe.
apps.
They got that nice little white church on the side of the road.
Am I going to
down there
feel
on
better
Highway
when I
21?
get back?
Yeah, you'll feel better.
I want to know.
Yeah, you'll feel better. When you want to get right with the world.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to do.
Get on the drive through. You drive through Kingston. Drive through Kingston on the way down Highway 21.
Let me run this by a seasoned get-right driver during fall, Chuck Barrett. So NWA Daily, which is a daily newsletter, came out with 6 scenic drives for viewing Arkansas's best fall foliage.
Is it foliage or foliage?
Well, I've been waiting for y'all to correct me.
What is it?
Nobody has said
anything. I'm like, what the hell? Is it foliage or foliage?
It's foliage.
Foliage.
It's 3 syllables.
Foliage.
Foliage.
like poinsettia.
Foliage. It's foliage.
Foliage.
It's
foliage.
Foliage.
Foliage. It's a very important award.
Wow, we make ourselves laugh.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, at the end of the day, the only people we're trying to amuse ourselves.
Well, somebody's got to do it. The Pig Trail Scenic Byways, number 1.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're in any particular order. Your drive, AR 43 through Boxley Valley.
Yeah.
AR 7 past the Arkansas Grand Canyon.
Yeah, if you want the view,
that's the Arkansas Grand Canyon.
It's down Highway 7. If you want the view, that's the one to go to. Or go to Whitaker's Point.
AR 170 to Devil's Den.
Yeah, I've been there.
US 71 to Artist Point.
Yeah, been there.
That's in Mountainburg.
North of Mountainburg.
War Eagle Mill, AR 12 to War Eagle Mill. Been there. One-lane bridge.
Yeah.
Went to the Crafts Fair over the weekend there.
It really is. The fall really is if you're going to take a day.
Clearly, he doesn't listen.
No, I mean, I'm listening to most of what you're saying. And I'm thinking about myself. But there are some nice spots out there to drive around.
Anyhow, the point is get out and enjoy it. If you need a deep breath, it's available to us. We just got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, enjoy that foliage.
It's there for the taking. Foliage? Yeah.
You can shorten it to foliage.
Foliage.
Yeah.
I mean,
A lot of people do. There's nothing wrong with that.
I thought I was doing well with it. Clearly, you guys did too, and then you were starting.
No,
to
we never really thought you were doing well. We just went.
No, well, the very first time you said it, Chuck said, like, what?
Yeah.
And then he thought I was dumb. He goes, leaves. like I didn't know. Leaves.
So
colorful leaves.
Here's the difference between a negative and a positive attitude.
That's right.
During,
all right, here we
during
go.
the fall foliage.
Very good.
The negative attitude says, dang it, I got to rake leaves. The positive attitude, which I can't even say, says, I'm driving to Ponca. Somebody else can rake the leaves.
You drive down there
Get a leaf
today.
blower.
Drive down there today. Drive back. You'll feel better about yourself when you get home.
there's only I got to do something. So that's going to be it.
All right. Well, today's your day.
877.
Get in touch with rural Arkansas today, bro.
For sure. 877-377-6963. I've been to all of these places. I don't think I've appreciated it like I'm going to today.
I'll tell you what you need to do. Go down the Pig Trail, Scenic Byway, hit Cass, hang a left, and drive over to OARC. Go to the OARC Cafe.
That's what I'm really wanting to do.
Get you a great big cheeseburger.
Yes, sir.
Sit there in your car and just pig out. And then drive back through all the foliage and get on back to Northwest Arkansas.
Maybe sit on the tailgate.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe sit on your tailgate. That's exactly right. Have a little personal picnic out
Right. Should I take a blanket?
there. I don't know about that. It's going to be hot today.
Hey, man, there's no better time in our state than fall. That's the truth.
I agree with that.
So the only thing to make it better is a win on Saturday. Big game. We got great college football, at least a good college football game to watch tonight. Who's the NFL game tonight? Who's playing on a streaming service
Who's
tonight?
playing on that service I'm paying for?
Like, obviously, this is not something we're on top of. We need to be on top of Thursday night NFL football.
It's the Vikings and the Rams.
There you go.
Vikings
a 3-point favorite.
Vikings
on the road.
played Sunday, didn't they?
Yeah,
they
fresh off their first loss of the season.
Yeah. And they're playing in L.A.?
In L.A. 3-point favorite. Minnesota.
Vikings are?
Yep.
Okay. Who you got?
It's a great question, Chuck. Probably the Rams.
Okay.
By the way, have you looked at the games this weekend? Like
there's some pretty good games.
College. There's a bunch of double-digit point spreads,
which means they'll be great games.
Missouri's at Alabama. Does Missouri have a chance at Alabama this weekend? They're a 16.5-point dog.
Questions about quarterback, though, and if he's going to be, if Missouri's quarterback's
send him to the hospital, bring him back, he'll win.
You know, they went to their indoor facility, too. After he got out of the hospital, they went to their indoor facility and worked him out in there to make sure that he would be able to move around the way they needed him to. And then that's why it took like 2 hours.
That's a lot going on.
That line has moved by 3 points, by the way, since that news about Brady Cook came out.
Really?
By the way, on that whole thing, can we just talk about that for a second?
Sure.
When you have a quarterback get hurt in a game, somebody's got to say, we got to dedicate some resources for the next 2 hours to get this guy back to maybe have a chance for him to help us win the game in the fourth quarter. I'm not sure that really happens in a lot of games. It's like, oh, he's out. He was in the tent. He's hurt. He's out for the game. Tell him to go, take his pads off and get a shower if he wants to. These guys are like, hey, we need a crew to get with our quarterback to drive him all over Columbia and see if we can get him ready in the next 2 hours. I mean, just think about that for a second.
I think they've got a hospital there on campus, or at least right by campus, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the point is, it's a 2-hour deal.
I know, you're right. I mean,
that's the kind of thinking you got to have. Like, hey, man, we got 2 hours before the end of this game. Is there a chance we can get him back for the last drive?
That's pretty much what happened. I mean, they spent
unusual.
that entire time getting him ready for those possessions.
That's
right
what
there
should have happened with me last Monday when at 7 o'clock I was done. Nobody in here said, hey, man, let me run you down to the urgent care, see if we can get you a shot and get you back for the last 30 minutes of the show to help Chuck finish. Y'all said, go home. We don't need you. It's 8:15 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
That's what made Taxi a hit for Harry Chapin, was it was so long, radio DJs loved it, particularly the overnight guys, because it was a 10-minute song.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Parts.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and click on the Sweat No Edge.
How was Saturday night for you after the game? What'd you do to celebrate?
The only remedy, I thought maybe get a few cold beers in there, maybe help it out a little bit.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
From the Buffalo River to the Louisiana line, from the Texas and Oklahoma borders to the capital city and into the Delta, the natural beauty, the natural resources, and the hardworking citizens make Arkansas's 4th District more than just the heart of the natural state. It is a land of opportunity to raise families, to build communities, and to do our part for a brighter future. I'm Congressman Bruce Westerman. It's an honor to serve you. I approve this message and sincerely ask for your vote.
Paid for by Westerman for Congress.
Bow season is underway, and Jelco Outdoors has all your archery and hunting equipment to help you bag that big buck. Select new compound bows by Hotech, Elite, and Hoyt. Save $200 off. Bear Tech crossbow packages, now only $329.99. Save $200 off select Raven crossbows, clothing, boots, tree stands, saddle equipment, feeders, nut grub, and grunt calls. Jelco has it all for you. Good luck and safe hunting. And remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Jaeger's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Get these red-hot buys at any of our 4 locations. Huge mums in 10-inch pots. Price drop. Now only $7.99. Brown jersey work gloves are only 50 cents a pair. And get an Ace 100-piece ratcheting screwdriver and bit set, or a 10-piece pliers and wrench set for only $24.97. Order online now and pick up in the store or curbside anytime. Find more everyday low prices online at JagersHardware.com.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
And their families said they'd never amount to anything. The Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah, don't they feel stupid now?
This portion of the Chuck and Bo Show brought to you by Fall Foliage. Fall foliage.
Give me some of that foliage.
Foliage.
I love a little foliage. 877-377-6963. Bart, you working on the locks?
Yeah.
What are we looking at over there this week?
Is he working on the locks? Does he work on anything else?
Right, it's true. Every break, it's like, have you seen the line move on this?
Okay.
What do we got? What are we working on?
Did you have Kennesaw State last night?
Yeah.
In the
No,
upset
I
of Liberty?
didn't have
on the money line.
0-6, beating 5-0. Who had that?
I didn't have anything in that game. Those games are typically like stay away games because you like there's undefeated versus defeated.
Yeah,
like there's nothing
not.
good there.
And then they're not.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I won big lessons.
Do you begin on Monday with a long list of games and you pare them down, or how exactly does your gambling mind work?
Kind of pare them down over the
I'm just wondering.
week.
Well, you're doing the Sam Pittman live show.
Yeah,
No,
that's right.
Yeah, I do.
Bart is
I
hunkered down.
kind of I take a look. Sometimes, a lot of times on Sunday when the lines will first come out, and kind of see if there's anything that catches my eye. If there's anything that I. What?
How's that muffin, Edward?
Edward's chowing down over there, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We've been in with a carb wave in here. We got cinnamon rolls and scones. We got our muffins. We got all kinds of
Bart
stuff.
continues. I apologize.
Please.
No, it's great. I kind of see, make a list of however many games. I don't set a number, but just the games that catch my eye. I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
This wasn't a serious question.
Yeah, it was more of a rhetorical question. But now that we're off in the weeds, How have you? What if?
He's going through the whole formula.
What?
Show me your spreadsheets.
So now that it's Thursday, and you've run all this through the computers, where do we stand today?
Who's leading in the BCS polls this week? Like, what?
Georgia's leading the BCS.
Okay, so you
Thanks for asking, Chuck.
What are
Thanks
your
for
early picks?
No.
What are you marinating on? What are the games you're looking at? That's kind of interesting. What's that?
I mean, no, like Indiana. Keeping an eye on Indiana without their starting quarterback. Who's getting a phone call?
I'm getting an equal employment.
His car warranty ran out.
No, that's the equal employment office. Have you filed a complaint, Bart?
Just now. Yeah, just now.
They're calling.
They're quick. They work quick.
They're on it.
No, I mean, Indiana's been a team that's been interesting against the spread all year. They're 7-point favorites at home against Washington without their starting quarterback. Maybe it's a time to kind of fade them. Not that they'll lose the game, but maybe they don't cover. That's something worth keeping an eye on. The Illinois-Oregon game is really interesting. Oregon, a 21.5-point favorite at home. So, they got to win by 4 scores to cover that spread. I just don't know that they're going to beat a good Illinois team.
Yeah, but Illinois is going to Oregon.
But, yeah.
It's going to be
Illinois is going to ground and pound and take the air out of the ball.
That's going to be tough. What about Texas? 18.5-point favorite over Vanderbilt. You gonna jump on that?
Probably not. But Vanderbilt would be the play there. I think people are underestimating how good Vanderbilt actually is.
So why don't you play it then?
Well, because there might be some games I feel stronger about.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Iowa plays Northwestern. Northwestern's really bad. This is typically a point in the past where you would play the under in the game, under the Iowa team total, probably looking at going over the Iowa team total because Northwestern is just truly a terrible football team.
Truly.
While we're in the situation room, while you're over there, what do you think Arkansas is going to do in the remaining 5 games?
Yeah, what do you think?
Man, that's a great question, Bo. I feel like I say that all the time to Chuck, so I need to say
right. I appreciate it.
But we understand it's a stall tactic.
Opportunity.
It's a stall tactic.
I wanted to pull the schedule up just so I had it here.
It's a stall.
It is. It's a stall tactic.
It is. Chuck was all over it.
I look for my notes. Let me just say that's a great question.
That's exactly right. You tell him it's a great question while you're looking for
I'm going to say
notes.
3-2. I'm going to say 3-2.
7 wins.
To get to 7 wins.
Yeah.
Where does that get him? Where does that get him, Bart?
Where are they going on 7 wins?
Las Vegas, baby.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Let's go to Vegas.
I'm just going to go on record right now. Going to the Vegas Bowl is a disaster waiting to happen.
For who?
Everybody. They do not need to go to the Vegas Bowl for the health of the program. I'm recommending any bowl but the Vegas Bowl.
I remember
go
that.
to Birmingham over the Vegas Bowl. Not as fun. Lot less carnage. Lot less carnage.
No.
Like the Vegas Bowl, the memory of Arkansas going to the Vegas Bowl is not good.
Here's the
new stadium, though. It's a new stadium.
Hold on. The idea of Arkansas going to the Vegas Bowl on NIL is also not good.
Well,
I just think that what you're trying to do right now is build your program to a certain level, and I see a potential for a setback there. I think you're trying to get to 6 wins, maybe 7, try to kind of have some continuity, bring some guys back next year.
I haven't heard
of
a ton of issues coming out of the Vegas Bowl through the years. Maybe I'm not paying attention to the right news sources.
Well, in this case, I'm not sure what happens in Vegas stays there.
in Vegas.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's true.
I'm all for the Vegas Bowl, just for the record, just so we're clear. I'm all for it.
Somebody's got to be responsible here, and I'm just trying to take that position.
I mean, the Gator Bowl would be fine. There. The Gator Bowl would be fine.
Well, I mean, that's Jacksonville, yeah. I mean, Birmingham. What are the options? What are the options? We got
7 and 5.
I don't think Arkansas is going to be in a Birmingham Bowl situation.
You don't think so?
No, I think Arkansas is going to be above a Birmingham
So 7
Bowl
and 5.
situation.
Where do you think that gets them? Does that get them beyond the Liberty Bowl? What do you think?
I think it's in that group of Liberty, Music City. I mean, Arkansas hasn't been to the Music City Bowl in a long time.
22 years. 22
Vegas.
long, lonely
Oh,
years.
that's the new Vegas, by the way. Nashville.
Gators. Nashville's great.
I love
Vegas
Nashville,
without
but
gambling.
that bowl's not exactly, when
No,
people
it's
think
not.
great bowl game.
No.
They don't.
JT said, I'm saying that the football team's not mature enough to handle Vegas. JT, let me ask you a question. Are you?
Yeah.
Is anyone?
I know
Are
a lot
you,
of adults.
JT?
Is anyone?
It is the land of bad decisions. There's no question about that. It is the land of bad decisions.
Yeah. We've talked about Arkansas being named the state land of opportunity as a state before the natural state.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the land of opportunity in Vegas.
I think those
for
are
all
the
the
four.
wrong
Land of broken dreams.
I think those are the
For
four
sure.
games that Arkansas would be in contention for at with 7 wins.
Okay. And you think they're getting to 7?
Yeah, I
And it
think
starts on Saturday. What kind of game are you expecting on Saturday, Mr. Locks?
I think-
Do you have your new graphic out this
I
week?
think-
Are you prepping the graphic for your post?
and that takes
on the
like
Locks?
2 minutes to put together.
Okay.
What are the numbers?
Heard.
When you punch in the numbers on Arkansas and Mississippi State, what does the computer
spit
tell you?
out?
What does it spit out?
What does it spit out?
It's gonna be another close game. It just is.
That's the sort of thoughtful analysis you can
Well,
only get from putting numbers in a computer.
Well, we've talked about all week. Mississippi State's a team that's getting a lot better, and you can see it week to week in their level of competition. Bo said this a couple of times. Like, you can tell they're hungry to get that win, and so and look, going to Starkville is never fun for anybody. Like, you have to go in there and expect a fight. It doesn't matter how good or bad Mississippi State is. It's always a tough place to play. It always feels like it's going to be a close game. And I think, you're going to have to score some points. Because I think Mississippi State's going to score some points.
To me, this game is Arkansas has to go in there and out physical them and just absolutely
100%.
turn it into a fist fight on the line of scrimmage.
See, I think in the last 2 games, the opening drive set the tone. Arkansas with the football in the Tennessee game, LSU with the football in the game in Fayetteville, or the game against the Razorbacks. Arkansas had to settle for a field goal in that Tennessee game, but they kept the ball for like 16, 17 plays, 7, 8 minutes, set the tone in terms of being able to block them. They set the physical tone. LSU did the very same thing. Arkansas deferred. LSU took the ball, bang, right down the field, and it was evident from the get-go that LSU was going to be the aggressor up front. And I thought Arkansas established that in the Tennessee game, and that must be established Saturday, must be established whether you have the ball or do not have the ball. You've got to establish the line of scrimmage right out of the gate.
I've come to the conclusion, right or wrong, that I would rather Arkansas not defer ever again the rest of this season.
Well, their defense was part of the reason they beat Tennessee, big part of the reason they wanted to put them on the field first, I think.
I get it. I think. But I think with this offense and Petrino, I expect them to be able to scheme up an opening drive that's going to score points.
I don't disagree.
Every time. And there's no better way to start a game for your team.
Take the ball and
now,
go
look,
score.
you can turn it over
Take
and
the
they
ball
can
and go
flip
score.
on you, but you're not planning on that. You got to go, that's where you go. You ought to be like a Petrino kind of coordinator. That guy, you can count on him to scheme up an opening drive 9 times out of 10.
You better get some first downs is first, because you look at the game against LSU. Arkansas's average starting field position was their own 26-yard line. They could never flip the field. They could never get enough first downs. I go back to that Texas A&M game down in Dallas. Arkansas lost the field position battle. They pinned A&M back multiple times in that game. And A&M would get 2 or 3 first downs. They'd get it out to 35 or the 40. And then they'd have to punt. And all of a sudden you're starting at your 15 or 20-yard line again. So I think all those things play into it. But
and having the ball to open the second half isn't even close to the same thing as opening the game with the ball.
Well, some of that's situational, but generally speaking, I think you're right.
I just mean that you've had a whole half play out, and feelings are like motivation, feelings, momentum, all of those things play factors in games, and we minimize it. We don't talk about it enough. When you go out and you go score, you still got to do all the things, but it just gives you something that you otherwise don't have.
We're playing with a lead. You know, you're confident.
Puts a little
playing with
on
a lead.
the other team. They're in a third down situation as a coordinator now. You're like, man, they scored. We gotta get a first down here. Maybe overthink it a little bit. That's just me. 8:31. It's a beautiful day. Like go look at the leaves today.
Go drive.
Go look at the fall
foliage.
Look at it. Take it in. Take a drive. Breathe. Turn on the Chuck and Bo podcast.
There you go.
On demand. Spotify, Apple. And check us out on all the social media platforms. And if you don't follow Bart Pullman, that's where you'll find his locks. We don't allow that on the official accounts. 8:32 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, I'm Taylor Green, Arkansas QB, and these two guys definitely have a face for radio.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. Join me, Phil, and Dr. Charles Liggett every Monday at 12:15 for my favorite segment, 3 Up, 3 Down.
My second up, T-Will, the game plan that he put together, that was fun to watch.
3 Up, 3 Down is presented by River Valley Smile Center. I'm a patient there, and you can be too. Visit rivervalleysmiles.com or give them a call at 479-646-0706. That's River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
People wonder all the time, where do I get my suits for all the weddings I go to? Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental. Rainwater's has dressed me from head to toe. So if you're renting or buying, your #1 men's clothing shop is Rainwater's. Experience the Rainwater's difference for yourself at 9700 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith or online at rainwater-s.com. When you stop by, make sure to tell Gail and his staff that Ty sent you. Rainwater's Men's Clothing and Tuxedo Rental, because it's fun to look good.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I got 2 things I want to talk about real quick, and I'll get out of your hair.
We don't have any hair, Sterling. Another great line.
That's
Thank
a
you.
good pun there. Nicely played, Sterling.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Seem a little cranky, man. What's the deal? Really? I mean, you do. What's the story?
That time of the year.
Really?
Yeah. Just.
What do you mean by that time of the year?
Yeah, it's fall. It's getting darker early, which is great because I need to go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
Then
Calendar
I'm kind of
flips
upset
a week
that I got to go to bed so
for,
early.
Time changes a week from, what, Sunday?
I'm
Week
a
from
very,
Sunday?
I'm a
Is that
very
right?
conflicted person, Chuck.
What's the deal?
I mean, first of all, I'm kind of disappointed that I couldn't say foliage.
Well, everyone.
I've also been, a texter said I can't say liberty. I say library.
Huh. I haven't noticed that.
I haven't either.
I feel like Ty moving out of this time slot has just opened the door for somebody to fill the role.
Man, you're just going to be brutal.
So here I am. Here I am.
See, this is why you need to go on a drive today.
By the way.
You're in lash out mode right now. You're in lash out. It's always somebody else's fault. Lash out.
Because of the way we're distributing the show right now, and I know nobody cares about this, but I'm going to tell you anyhow. We hear all the commercials that air on the Fort Smith ESPN radio station.
Oh, God, here we go.
And Ty sells more stuff on that station and during the commercial breaks.
Barbecue.
And I hear it. I hear it every day. And I have decided on a field trip to Fort Smith.
That's where you're going today?
No, not today. I'm going to look at the foliage.
Yeah. God. How did this happen?
That's what I'm doing today.
What is going on?
Yeah, I don't know. But then when I'm done, I'm going to Rainwater's.
So you should do a tour of all the spots, all the places in Fort Smith. Ty does their spots and stuff. Walk in and say, "Hey, Ty sent me."
For real.
And,
I'm not kidding. I'm going to do it.
Take an entire
I might
day.
take the train to Van Buren.
Oh,
that's an idea.
That'd
now.
be big.
There's an idea. That could clear my head today.
Pack you a lunch.
The train to Van Buren. When does it come back?
Well, I don't know.
I need to be back in time for the junior high game to watch my daughter cheer. You realize I'm going to be going to football games for the next 4 years. And I don't have a kid on the team or maybe even know anybody on the team. I mean, I'll know some people, but
Well, you got that.
I'm there to watch my daughter cheer.
You've got all that Fayetteville gear. You got all that stuff.
It's
you look
true.
like a Fayetteville dad.
It's true.
So
might as well put it to use.
You're set. All right, we're going to go back to the phones. We're going to head to Deer, the home of the Antlers.
Oh, the Deer Antlers.
That's where Craig's on the line.
There's some foliage there.
Yeah, there's some foliage, and it's probably dead foliage right now.
Foliage.
Craig, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
How's the foliage in Deer, Craig?
All I'm going to tell you is save your time and your money, Bo. I live on top of the mountain. Boxley's to the right, and the Grand Canyon's to the left, and it's brown and green.
That's clutch right there. Thank you. That's clutch.
He's just going for the drive.
If you want to see some orange, I got plenty of that at the house.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
That color doesn't wear well unless you're deer hunting or you're in Knoxville.
You're right about that, especially not in Arkansas, as you've learned.
Yes, I have.
Do you just wear your Tennessee? Do you just wear your Tennessee gear when you go deer hunting?
I don't actually. I'm probably the only guy in Newton County that doesn't hunt. As long as somebody else is skinning it and throwing it in the meat tray, I'm gonna let them hunt for me.
You're an eater. Yeah. You're an eater.
Yeah.
Are you a giver or a taker?
I don't know what it is, but I'm not against hunting. I just don't see the. If a deer could fight back, I might see the sport in it. But hell, I killed six my first year here. I killed six my first year here, but it was with the front of my Tundra.
That makes that meat a little tough too when that happens.
Yeah, they spun out pretty quick. So anyhow, but that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Y'all have a good day.
Thanks for the heads up
thanks,
on that.
Craig.
So what I'm hearing, which is not helping the mood any, that the foliage is not great in the places that you were going to send me on a wild foliage chase.
Well, here's the thing.
You were going to send me on an Arkansas native who takes this drive 3 times a year just to look at the beauty. That's Chuck Barrett. Was going to send me on a wild foliage chase.
I prefaced my
to
remarks.
See nothing.
I prefaced my remarks by saying everything's going to be dead. And you immediately turned up your nose and I went, well, Bo doesn't want to hear everything's dead, so I better tell him about how great it's going to be out there.
So what he wants to hear.
I don't want to break the news to him that there's nothing to see. But if you want to take a drive, I mean, I think that's a great drive.
You're telling me we're having a bad fall.
I'm telling you, it's not the most picturesque fall. We've not had rain in a month. It's 90 frickin' degrees out there. You got guys wearing shorts to go deer hunting. You got your summer deer hunting outfits on out there.
And people say you're a shill for the University of Arkansas and you won't tell it like it is. You just did.
Well, it's hot out there. It's like we're at the end of October. It's pushing 90. It's a little bit different this year.
Is it too late for a float trip?
Well, I don't know that it's too late.
It is.
But,
it's too
we haven't had
low.
all the fall rains to make it to get everything up to the level where you can
people
go screaming down the mulberry.
People were complaining about the paint on the field. I mean, like the Tennessee game, the field didn't look great. Well, lack of rain will do that. I know they have sprinklers and all that, but it ain't the same. It ain't the same.
I think if you go for a drive today, though, even if you don't see a lot of leaves, you'll come back in a better mood, probably.
I need to mention I'm not going to be here tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, going to a concert.
Really? Which one?
Taylor Swift.
Is tomorrow the day you're leaving?
No, it's next week.
Oh, okay.
A week from today.
A week from today, you're
seriously, I'm being serious now. Will you bring us back something?
Like a shirt?
You want some merch?
Yeah. Yeah, will you bring us back something?
Sure.
We'll wear it on the show. Well, it'll be too late. I was going to say we could wear it for Halloween, but we'll be past Halloween.
Yeah, I can do that.
You're going to a Taylor Swift concert the day after Halloween.
It's going to be huge.
I'm flying on Halloween. I'm a little concerned about that, but
Wonder if they'll give you candy on the flight.
I mean, well, maybe. I don't know.
Well,
I've never flown on Halloween before.
Indianapolis is a known Halloween site, so I'm sure you'll have a big time. When
Man
you
of the
get
world,
there.
Chuck Barrett.
Yeah. It's a known good Halloween spot.
Oaklawn Sports says the line has moved, Chuck, in the game on Saturday.
What is it now?
6.5.
Okay.
Down from 7.5.
All right.
Money's going on Mississippi State to cover. Tom Luganbill indicated it's going to be a one-score game, fourth quarter game, decided late in the game.
What did Anthony Booger say? I forget about.
Well, he said Arkansas's got to figure out their identity. He didn't say it this way, but how they have to play to win, because some of the things they want to do, they might not be quite good enough to do. Some of the things LSU was doing, the athletes and the depth and the things that LSU can do on offense, Arkansas may not be necessarily equipped to do consistently. And I think we saw some of that in the Tennessee game. When Arkansas came out, you alluded to this a little bit ago, where they came out and decided to kind of be physical and punch them in the mouth. Even though they weren't getting big gains, they were getting positive yardage. And that's, to me, how they got to go play this game Saturday. They got to go in there and really take the fight to State up front and not worry about how necessarily the explosive plays will come if you can do what they did early against Tennessee. And that's 3rd and short, maybe in 4th and 1, convert those, and then it starts opening things up. And that's when you see Talon. Now we're getting into real football analysis. That's when you see Talon really, I think, excel.
If they can run the ball with Braylon Russell the way they did with Jaquindon, like, for example, at Oklahoma State early in the season before his ankle, before his ankle started bothering him, he was getting to the second level. And if they can do that running the football with Russell on Saturday, they'll be able to do a lot more with Green than they did against LSU.
Midseason grade on the Chuck and Bo video streaming. We've gone from a C to a B+. We've got more cameras activated. We're streaming direct to you on our social media platforms, YouTube, across the board. Also, Hit That Line now, the app, hitthatline.com. But you can go right to the Chuck and Bo social media sites at Chuck and Bo Show to be able to see the show. And if you want to see Bart, many people have been wondering, like, what does Bart look like?
Handsome young man. Handsome young man.
Handsome young fella. Single, available, loves Taylor Swift, available.
Your daughters, your family, he'll fit right in.
Now that you've seen Bart, you can screenshot it, take it to Thanksgiving, maybe Halloween, but Thanksgiving, and share it at the dinner table and say, this is Bart. This is what Bart looks like.
I don't know that anybody's going to be doing
upgraded.
that.
Oh, you might be surprised.
By the end of the season.
You'll have stalkers by the end of the calendar year.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
What? Bart's going to have stalkers.
That's great.
Drake's 38 today. Kalen DeBoer's 50. It's National Bologna Day.
You guys fry it up or just eat it cold out of the fridge?
I'll tell you what, man. A good barbecue bologna sandwich
I know.
Heidi's Ugly Cakes in Norfolk. Best bologna sandwich in the state. Argue with me.
I can't.
Yeah.
I haven't been
It's
there.
inarguable.
They don't have bologna sandwiches in Vegas. You were talking about the Vegas Bowl. I bet you can't get a good bologna.
I'll bet you can.
I bet I could find some pretty good food, though.
Get you a gourmet.
Not worried
bologna
about that.
sandwich.
You might want to pack one for when you head out there and have nothing left to eat on.
Have some food for the trip back.
8:48. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Chuck, I believe this is all your fault.
Yeah.
I believe
Thank you.
Thank
you. And it's because he doesn't have YouTube TV, for starters.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
What's your Oaklawn? Is it hitting the slots for fun and high fives? Or having a round at Silk's Bar and Grill before the action? Play your way at Oaklawn's 24/7 non-smoking casino. With 1,500 slot machines, live roulette, craps, and blackjack, a sports book where you can watch and wager on your favorite games and live entertainment at Pop's Lounge, you'll never run out of fun. It's time for more winning and more excitement at Oaklawn. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Now is the time to join Hogs Plus, the Netflix for Razorback fans.
Arkansas wins it. Here they come.
Documentaries, exclusive interviews,
people everywhere, and then next thing you know, it's just everybody's packed.
Insider access, and an incredible library of films.
Arkansas leads it by 3.
A membership like no other.
I don't think it gets any better than this.
Oh, you're giving me goosebumps now.
Start your free trial today at hogsplus.com.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park.
FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Best brands, best people, best inventory, best place. You want selection? You'll find it at the Auto Park. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. We're talking 4 of the best brands on the planet. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Plus, certified pre-owned Toyotas, Hondas, Acuras, and Chevys. Why settle for anything less than the best? Best brands, best people, best inventory, best place. Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show. Check us out online at FayettevilleAutoPark.com. That's FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Safe Sports Radio.
Our flag is more than just a piece of cloth. It's the heartbeat of our nation, should be a beacon of hope and freedom for us all. But lately, some have chosen to deface it. The same flag I wore proudly while serving in the Army is being dishonored. Have we forgotten the sacrifices made for the freedoms it represents? In Congress, I've taken action to protect our flag and the values it stands for. I'm Steve Womack, and I approve this message because our flag is more than just a symbol. It represents the soul of America. Paid for by Womack for Congress.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Check out the new Wacker Newson ST45 at Sharp Equipment. It's bigger, bolder, and is ideal for lifting and loading. The vertical path lift arm allows for easy load placement in demanding applications where reach and height is a requirement. For compact, heavy equipment with a great deal of power, visit them and check out the new Wacker Newson lineup at Sharp Equipment. 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Or call them at 479-242-1406.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive, and financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Are you doing give him a fist bump and raise your fingers
They
out?
just kind of look at you
some
like, hey,
big
cool.
thing?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, he's a
You're,
bro.
you're a dude.
He's my
man.
bro. Yeah.
Chuck told me,
Bro,
don't call me bro.
Yeah. Y'all need some help.
I said, we were having some discussion off the air with it, and I said, bro. He goes, don't call me bro. Do not call me bro.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
JT poses the question that must be answered. Who's the better catch, Bart or Ty? That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I mean, you can't go wrong either way.
That's true. That's true. Both good guys, solid guys.
Yeah.
I'll say this.
Stand-up guys.
I think a lot of Ty, and I mean this with all sincerity. I wish I had his hair. It's another topic, but I do think a lot of Ty. But I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know. I was just having a moment where I was just thinking about how much I appreciate Bart. You know, and if I don't appreciate Bart and I don't make Bart feel appreciated, it can really backfire on me.
Get a tight shot on Bart right now. Tight shot on Bart.
Tight shot on for those watching on Chuck and Bo YouTube.
Go.
Yeah. You know, I trust Bart, like, complicitly. And I've come to realize he has all of my passwords.
Bart's the key to everything. And in terms of, like, all these
and they're all my passwords are 1, 2, 3, 4.
Very simple.
$.
Very simple.
But Bart has all my passwords. And I'm never worried about it. I've never worried about it. First road trip I ever took Bart on, I don't know, 15. When what? It was 2010.
2010
It was the
Sugar Bowl.
Yeah. And I stayed at a different hotel.
You stayed at the nice hotel and put Bart in the dump.
I came by in the cab. I came by in the cab to pick Bart up, and the first thing he did is 5 a.m. in the morning. He gets in the cab and he hands me a handful of receipts. I was like, I can trust this guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he wasn't out messing around on Bourbon Street. He had receipts.
Well, you made him stay in a dump hotel while you stayed at the.
That's not true. It was the
Marriott.
Marriott. Yeah.
Ritz-Carlton.
I heard you're going to stay in some nice hotels
That's what I've heard.
this year.
I've never heard of some of these places.
What full reports?
Yeah.
On the Chuck and Bo show during basketball season.
All right. Yeah, there's going to be some nice ones, evidently.
Well, I'm going to go look at some foliage.
Yeah. I'm not.
We're going to come back and do it again tomorrow. Hey, good luck to all the junior high kids playing tonight all over the great state of Arkansas. We'll be back at 6 a.m. We'll try and do better. Got a big weekend to get ready for tomorrow. It's going to be a fun Friday on the Chuck and Bo Show.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state, and you can add Flyway Brewing to the list. A craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock.